will be fun to watch. And Cagliano's the main name. They've got some other guys that are going to be looked at by MLB teams. So this should be a series worth watching this weekend. Game's been moved up a little bit, originally slated for 7 tonight. It's been moved up to 6, hoping to miss some of the rain. Florida doesn't have just like eye-popping numbers this season. They're slightly above 500. They're under 500 in conference play, but a team that this Arkansas baseball squad is not overlooking because of some of the talent and the hitting that they possess. NFL draft last night. Did you like your team selection? Whoever it was. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're indifferent because you don't know enough about the young man that your franchise went with. We got that. We got some NBA playoffs to get into. Dave Van Horn, audio, and another commitment for Arkansas basketball as we get rolling here, Tommy, on a Fast Break Friday.
So when we do, and that's my bad, it's got to be a quick transition. You'll get to a point where you can click everything, but that's my bad. I forgot to.
Absolutely certain. I think he's still that because big demand for us has been really high as well. People wanting to go. It's a shame like he was pointing out the weather's already affecting games by moving it.
And the board's on underneath, right? Yeah, it's the right. Okay. It's clicked to the right, right?
Yes.
Trying to get back in, maybe in a conversation with a strong finish to host a regional. Don't know that they can host a super regional at this point in time. I do think they're in a position to beat Arkansas on the road in 2003. Some of the things they still haven't then, they could still be in the regional.
It's never easy. It is never easy in the Southeastern Conference. Doesn't matter what team is coming in. Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, teams that are not superior to you, that aren't even on the same level as you, that are below you. But if you take them lightly, it's not going to go according to plan. I said Fast Break Friday. I mean, I guess we can call it that, Tommy, since we got another commitment. People are still wondering about Cal. Davor Remos is going to join us later on at 8 o'clock this morning. Excited to hear from him. Give you some thoughts on Big Z. But yeah, it is going to be a fun show this morning.
That because there's features on the Arkansas weekend with Florida where I'm looking right now at the Friday game tonight, and Arkansas is let's see here, Arkansas is a minus 230 and Florida's plus 200, so a marginal favorite. You got the Bucks and the Pacers tonight, so you got the Clippers and the Mavericks, so you've got all kinds of action going on with the NBA playoffs as well. And the Thunder is probably the one that a lot of people are looking forward to tonight. And Ty, I know you are as well. Thunder right now, 1.5 favorite, taking on the Pelicans this evening. So find those lines on the Bet Saracen app. So like you're saying, a full weekend coming up.
I had someone last night that was dead set on the idea that Malik Neighbors was going to go number 4 over Marvin Harrison. Laid, I think, $50 down to win 900. He was a little disappointed when Marvin Harrison, the former Ohio State Buckeye and son of Marvin Harrison Sr., went above Malik Neighbors. But a lot of SEC guys drafted last night, Tommy. If you count the Oklahoma and Texas guys, 13 of the 32 from this conference. If you don't count them, it's 10. So it's still nearly 30% of the first rounders were, or nearly 33%, a third of the first rounders were SEC guys, which is pretty, I say it's pretty unbelievable, but it's just kind of par for the course when you look at the NFL draft.
What you think about Nick Saban? Which coverage did you watch?
Nick Saban, he's my guy. I love watching him. I love hearing what he has to say about football. Chuck always says I have a man crush on him. You can say that if you want, but I just enjoy hearing him talk about football. It's great. I like hearing Jay Wright talk about basketball. I just like these coaches that have won national championships that have a way of explaining things that they're not like not mansplaining. I'm trying to think how to say it. Like fansplaining is maybe the way where they don't like talk down to you. They talk with you. I think Herb Street does a really good job of that where he doesn't overanalyze. He just kind of presents what he sees from a quarterback perspective. And Saban does that from a coach. I mean, he shared some things about Terry and Arnold and his love for his wife, Miss Terry, how they would come over and play games and stuff. So I thought it was a really unique addition. And I think it's going to be a unique addition all season long when he's on College Game Day. I thought he did a great job last night.
Can't see him putting the headgear on like Corso.
No.
And I guess Corso will do that as long as he can. That'll be his part. But I think they have set their set, so to speak. They've got their roster now lined up, and he'll make me want to watch Game Day a lot more frequently now that he's on there because I thought he was really, really good.
It's his first time. I mean, we shouldn't suspect him, but that's his first like. Hey, this is now not full-time gig, but like first time. I was impressed. And
name on the marquee. Time.
Yeah, we shouldn't expect anything less. I mean, this guy's good at anything he does, and anything he sets his mind to. Is coaching, TV, car dealerships. I mean, this is not a guy that likes to fail at anything. He's going to put time and effort in what he does. And I thought he did a great job, as you said last night. I'm going to be curious to see what the rest of the NFL draft entails these next couple days. When the first Razorback comes off the board, I know that I think it's going to be Dwight McLaughlin. There's an idea that maybe it's Cam Little or Bo Limmer, which I don't think is too crazy of an idea. But where the first hog comes off, because I think as Tom told us yesterday, 28 consecutive years where you've had a Razorback drafted, and I don't see that discontinuing this year. I think you got at least one guy that gets picked in these next couple rounds.
Yep. So, all right, we'll get to all of that coming up. I know some of you are waiting on that fishing and getting out there at first light even today. You can take along that famous Yum Dinger from Pradco. They make them in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes in their Fort Smith plant. There is a great one, a variety to choose from. That Elder Magic always work it with a wacky rigging, and you'll find it to be very, very productive. So get out there and get going. I know a lot of you are looking forward to those fish on the spine as well. It's all made by Pradco, Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. It's the Yum Dinger, made by Pradco.
Boogie Flynn commits to your Arkansas Razorback basketball team last night. I know people are excited about that. Dave Van Horn again, some thoughts on this Florida series, but I want to talk about Boogie when we come out. It's a big get. Top 20 kid, 5-star in a lot of different places. A guy that Kentucky fans wanted, Indiana fans wanted, Alabama fans wanted. He was coveted across the country, and it sounds like he is going to end up being an Arkansas Razorback. So you've got him. You've got Carter Knox. You've got Big Z. It's Billy Richmond, the son of Billy Richmond Jr., who played for Cal at Memphis. Who else is going to commit in these next few days for this Arkansas basketball program? Keep it right here on the Morning Rush and ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, as we continue to track what's going on with John Calipari and this Razorback basketball team. We'll talk more about him and some other stuff. Again, rolling along here on a Fastball Friday. Stay with us here on the Morning Rush.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
This is Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our number one volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is the Morning Rush.
Jam-packed house here in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. We work to design an insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter Insurance ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 5 out of the last 6 years by J.D. Power. Satisfied customers and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today, 479-434-2414, or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Solve your roofing problems with Freedom Roofing and sleep soundly beneath a sturdy roof tonight. Locally owned, licensed, and insured, Freedom Roofing is a dependable company that will help you with the insurance claim process. Residential or commercial, they'll be there step by step. Call Keith Holt, 479-597-6777, or Rick Carlisle, 479-651-3247 today on all roofing services and break free from your aging roof. Good luck, Peyton Holt and Hog Baseball from Freedom Roofing.
Hi, this is Melissa, owner of True Grit Running Company. Now that the weather has cooled down, it is the perfect time to get a jump start on those New Year's resolutions. We'll help you start your running journey off right with shoes handpicked just for you, based on how you run. Follow us on Facebook to learn more about our group runs for people of all paces, where we can give you advice and support on your running journey. Let us help you find your True Grit fit at True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
It's spring cleaning sale time at Jelco Outdoors. Savings from 50 to 75% off on select clothing, footwear, hunting and fishing equipment, casual clothing, hunting clothing, work clothing for men, women, and children, work boots, safety shoes, western boots, all 50 to 75% off. Rods, reels, baits, hunting equipment, all 50 to 75% off. Select group of handguns, rifles, and shotguns in the firearms department at cost or below. Don't miss the big spring cleaning sale at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
810 Billiards and Bowling is fun with an upscale attitude. Join us on Tuesdays for college night. Enjoy entree starting at just $8.10 and bowling and billiards for only $15. Wednesday is trivia night starting at 6:30 and Thursday is karaoke from 7 to 11. Come on in for Arkansas baseball and enjoy $2 drafts on select beers. 810 Billiards and Bowling has the perfect venue located at 5609 Rogers Avenue across from Randall Ford. 810 Billiards and Bowling.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You know I've had a heater while I'm waiting on y'all to get me on the radio.
First pitch is hit high in the air by Holt to deep left.
Back goes Petrance. That ball's out of here. Peyton Holt has tied the game with a 2-out home run in the 9th inning.
Do you want to watch the Morning Rush, Halftime, Even, Ruskin, and Zach? Find our live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Twitch. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio.
And we welcome you back here into the Morning Rush. Here at Peyton Holt highlight. Probably going to see Peyton some point this weekend in Baum Walker Stadium as the game has been moved up a little bit tonight, trying to get ahead of this inclement weather. Tommy, hadn't seen an announcement just yet on tomorrow's status, and it's going to be more Sunday. I still think there's a possibility we might have a doubleheader tomorrow in Baum Walker.
Oh, I think you're right, and I think moving it up tonight gets it in. You know, the forecast is severe in nature, but it's not all day. At least, you know, and I don't know which weather app to trust anymore. You look at both of them, sometimes you get two different answers, and that's annoying. But when you look at when the rain is going to occur, a lot of it's overnight one day and then early morning. So we get caught up into, well, there's a 100% chance of rain. Well, that doesn't mean it's going to rain all day. It doesn't mean we're going to have a gazillion tornadoes. But I know that just watching national weather and watching some of the news the last few days, they have had an emphasis on a pretty wide stretch through the middle part of the country, and right in the heart of it is where we're at. So I'm just looking at the forecast today in Fayetteville. Precipitation is going to occur between about noon and 5 o'clock, so that's one reason they've moved it up. You look at the same thing tomorrow, it's all in the middle of the day, about a half inch of rain between noon and 6, so they can play in the evening. And then on Sunday, it's all before 12 o'clock. But there's going to be 2 inches of rain. But that field drains well. So I think there's windows. I don't know what the curfew and how Florida's traveling. I would assume they're flying charter, but I don't know that. So there is a window on Sunday, but I don't know that if this is true and there's a half inch of rain tie on Sunday between noon and 5, I don't know that you could play a doubleheader anytime on Saturday. So we'll see. They'll be lucky to get 3 in. I guess that's the bottom line.
Yep. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. More coming up on the Cal Tracker, if you will. And sounds like he's been in Fayetteville. I was listening to you guys a little bit yesterday morning doing the things I had to do. And sounds interesting what's going on. You mentioned Boogie. Boy, if you're going to be a player named Boogie, you better be good. And sounds like they got a good one. All of our coverage of basketball and the recent commits brought to you by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all of your real estate needs, go to LindberghTeam.com. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com. Ty, I still get the question on the daily. Man, when's more of these recruits coming? When's more of these recruits coming? And I've just resorted to the answer, tell me all the bad rosters John Calipari's ever had. Calipari's never had, like, a bad roster. So, everybody that's still worried and concerned about it, I just pump the brakes. Here's another example. Again, when you got a player named Boogie, I think he's going to be pretty good, would be my guess. You can't be a bad basketball player with a name like Boogie.
No, and he's, again, top 20 kid, White Plains, New York, a guy that a lot of colleges and college basketball coaches and fans wanted to their school. Luckily, he picked the Arkansas Razorbacks. He was with maybe as one of his future teammates, Billy Richmond, whose father, Billy Richmond Jr., I think he's the third because it's Billy Richmond Jr., just putting that where it is, but his father played for Cal at Memphis. So you put 2 and 2 together, it's a good chance you might have Billy Richmond as a commit, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime this weekend, because, again, he was on campus with others. Now, there are some recent reports out there. Brennan Garrison, the Oklahoma State center, is going to be in town this weekend, according to several reports, on Sunday. So you've got him to look forward to. Brandon Garrison. And then still waiting on the I haven't seen an update on Jonas Adu when he's supposed to be in town. And then also Janelle, let's see, I'm trying to find it. Janelle Davis is the Florida Atlantic guy that I know a lot of Arkansas fans are wondering about. We had national college basketball analyst Jeff Borzello on with us yesterday. It sounds like Arkansas is in pretty good position for Janelle Davis, too.
Yeah, and I don't think the list is going to get any less impressive as we go along. So I know everybody's watching and interested and keeping up, and hey, don't blame me. What do you think out there? McLarty Daniel Hotline open 877-377-6963. Ty, do you have any anxiety over this, or are you just kind of in Cal we trust mode? I'm not anxious, worried, nervous at all. And which camp do you reside in?
I mean, a lot of these, it would be different if you had Richmond commit somewhere else, or you had Adu commit somewhere else, or Davis commit somewhere else. But these guys hadn't committed anywhere. Wagner's camps have been pretty quiet. So that's what I'm looking at. Like, if these guys are going elsewhere, then you're a little like, okay, now I'm starting to get worried. But they haven't, right? Now you want them to commit. We're impatient. We're an impatient society, and we want what we want right now. So I completely understand Arkansas fans being a little apprehensive about that. But the only guy that you feel like or only two guys that, quote unquote, you think you missed out on is Jeremy Roach, who's going to be a Baylor Bear, and Jaden Quaidens, who I don't know where he's going to wind up. But evidently it's not going to be Arkansas. And I think that might be a mutual thing, if I'm being completely honest. So those are the two guys that have evidently decided Arkansas is not the best fit for them. Everyone else that we basically talked about seems to be, at least in our minds, in play. So no, I'm like you. I don't have any apprehension about this. But again, we need it now society, and I want to see this roster filled quickly.
Yeah, I get it. And yeah, we'd like all the answers now, but then what are we going to worry about? Then what will we complain about? So, we got some work to do around here to get this roster filled out, but I know that there is for me, I'm just, I look back and I keep falling back, at least on the trust of John Calipari has never had a bad roster. He hasn't always won at the level his fan base is wanting to, and guess what? He won't either here. And it's almost like we've moved into a mode that if you go to the Final Four, that's not going to be enough. If you win the SEC championship, not going to be enough. So, I think we got to
the expectations, they have ratcheted up, and he hasn't even coached a single game yet here in Fayetteville.
Yeah, we got to pump the brakes on that a little bit as well. Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at Wheels RV. It was fun to be over there a week or so ago and really help them. They've got the best selection of Wheels RV of all the best brands. Brinkley Model Z's are the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. Grand Design and Forest River products are there as well. You can also check out their award-winning service and parts department. And every new RV that Chris and Lee J and his team can put you in, every new one comes with a lifetime warranty as well, so you can camp with confidence. Stop in and see why Wheels has been voted best of the best year after year. It's their great service and their great products, all at Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Eric joins us next. Stay with us here on the Morning Rush, ESPN Arkansas.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Limburg Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimburgTeam.com. Limburg Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimburgTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
This is the Morning Rush.
The Razorbacks have won it.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make Awake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make Awake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make Awake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make Awake Bait and Tackle.
It's a fish fry at the Tackle Box. Jerry and the team will be frying up fresh fish starting this Friday at noon until it's all gone. Get your fresh fried fish and sides for only $15. All proceeds will benefit foster children for the Sebastian County CASA, court-appointed special advocates for Sebastian County. Come on out and help the children at the annual Fish Fry fundraiser at the Tackle Box, 3001 South Zero Street in Fort Smith.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Yeah, when I hear Jeff and others talk about, well, Arkansas is in the driver's seat for this guy. Everybody in America wants him. There's still part of me that just like shakes my head. Is this really happening? Is Cal really our coach? All of a sudden, Arkansas, rockets to the top of their list. I mean, it's pretty heady stuff.
It is not a dream, I assure you. John Calipari is your head coach. Boogie Fland commits last night to your Arkansas basketball program, giving you 2 top commits already, at least out of high school, and we'll see what's to come out of the transfer portal. That driver's seat Chuck just referred to, according to Jeff Borzello, ESPN college basketball analyst, you're in the driver's seat for FAU guard Janelle Davis. We'll get into some more what he had to say yesterday with Chuck and Tommy as we continue on, not just a Fastball Friday, but but a fast break Friday, too, this morning.
Hey, I don't want to just be in the driver's seat. I want to be blowing the horn as well. So I want to be up there letting everybody know about it. So hopefully that's to come as well. Hey, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has new weekday deals Monday through Thursday. 50-cent wings on Monday. You got to order 10. Those are traditional or boneless. You can choose the sauce you want. On Tuesday, burger up, man. Cheeseburgers, fries, and your drink. This is you try to go anywhere for lunch for $10. Impossible. You can on Tuesdays. You can get a cheeseburger, their big burger, fries, and drink for $10 at TGI Fridays. Wednesday, this is one of your favorites, Ty. Their Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta.
Yeah, dynamite.
It's $12. You can't eat it all at lunch, so it's lunch and dinner essentially for $12 on Wednesdays. And then, Chuck, this will be mine and your day. Thursdays, we missed it yesterday. $12 for the Fridays big ribs. Get some sides to go along with that. So ribs on Thursday as well with a half rack and fries for $12. If you're looking for lunch for 12 and under, $10 on Tuesday, 50-cent wings on Monday. TGI Fridays, 540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, where it's always Fridays.
Chuck, it is a good basketball morning. Well, you and I were chatting yesterday wondering, hey, will either Boogie Fland or Billy Richmond commit later on yesterday? And they sure did, or one of them did, as you got a commitment from Boogie Fland.
Yeah, I had to figure that that might be coming down the pike, and it certainly was. And I guess he had a good visit based on the fact that he committed. So, yeah, just a terrific player. You know, it's interesting because I don't know that we as a fan base have kept up with a lot of these guys. I mean, during the course of the season, let's be honest. I don't recall any of us saying, hey, how's that Boogie Fland guy doing? We didn't know who they were. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're Razorbacks. And so it's happening. People wondered, well, why isn't anything happening? But when you put it in perspective, it's actually happened very quickly. We've gone in a space of, 3 or 4 weeks from maybe knowing the name, if you follow basketball recruiting circles, to, all of a sudden he's one of our guys.
Yeah. We have upgraded the level of friends and family. That is what we've done. We're now sitting at a different lunch table, to put it in high school terms. And it starts with who our girlfriend became, and John Calipari. We have upgraded our whole friend circle, and we've got to get used to it. And listen, like anything, it probably won't last forever, but we need to enjoy it while it does. But this is what comes with having John Calipari here, and I know that's been repeated over and over, but I think we have to remind ourselves our sights and our expectations have to be elevated along with that.
Well, and it's a long way from over. I think that's the thing you have to realize is that, what's happened with the commitments that they've gotten and the players, or the player in the case of Big Z who's here, and I'm not sure Carter Knox's status, but he may be close too. So, when you think about those guys on most teams, that's the beginning and the end right there. It's like, we can't do any better than this. But then you also realize when you look at his track record that he's not finished and that there is more to come in this recruiting class. And as good as it's been so far, it might get better.
And, Tommy, Chuck and I were kicking this around yesterday. I mean, you turn on the channel last night, you're watching the NBA playoffs, seeing Jamal Murray go for 25 for the Nuggets, or AD go for 33 for the Lakers, or Tyrese Maxey go for 25 with the Sixers. I mean, these guys are on display, and they just keep, anytime they get asked about Cal, it's just more pub for your basketball program.
Well, and you don't have to look far, or you can look at about every game and you're going to find one of his players. So that's the thing that makes him, I was talking to someone, or who, I wasn't talking to somebody, I was listening to one of y'all's conversations. Didn't you have Jeff Borzello on yesterday? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I was listening to that conversation. It's like anytime he walks into a room or enters a gym, he's got that presence, and everybody knows he's there.
Yeah.
People turn heads. If he walks into a crowded gym, you kind of know he's there if he walks in. He does have that kind of, I don't know if aura is the right word, but, he's got a presence about him on the recruiting trail for sure. And he has the history to back it up. He's produced so many NBA players from his time at Kentucky and his time at Memphis.
About 10 or 11 years ago, I was working a JUCO regional tournament. in Shawnee, Oklahoma. And everybody who was anybody had flown into the Shawnee, Oklahoma airport. And Rick Pitino was the guy that day. That when he walked in, and there was 12 or 15 big-time Division I coaches there to watch one. I can't remember the player. There to watch one player. But, Pitino got up to go get popcorn. Everybody knew it. Calipari's got that same effect. But Pitino was the guy then, and he's got that same effect now. And Chuck, when he gets in some rooms with fans and boosters here in our state, everybody's going to know his every move.
Oh, I'm sure that's right. And, he does have that quality about him. But now, I do think that it's important to note that they've still got to work it. I mean, he's not the only star. He may be the biggest star, but he's not the only one. And there are lots of great coaches out there with big personalities who, when they get you one-on-one, I mean, you're going to buy a car before you leave. I'll just put it that way. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing as far as selling their product. And so it's not a layup. It's not an automatic. Now, clearly with these players, he has a long-standing relationship, and they are committing to John Calipari. Let's just be honest on that. They are committing to John Calipari. If he was not our coach, they would not be here. So, there's certainly something to him. But I think that it is important to note that you're not just going to build a roster in all probability with guys who've committed to play for Cal before. You're going to have to go beyond that. And clearly after this year, there's going to be many, many more like that. So, yes, he does have an aura about him. There's no question. And it plays to his every advantage when it comes to recruiting. But the guy's also pretty good, evidently, at building relationships. Because just because a guy's got an aura doesn't mean you automatically will go wherever he goes. I mean, that comes from them believing in that guy. And clearly they do.
Ty, it's like when Chuck walks into the break room here at the radio station. Everybody just stops.
Yeah.
Hey, is he going for candy? Is he going for Coke?
What's
he doing? It's just like when Chuck walks through the building.
I always get a kick when I'm in the Bud Walton food and drink part, and then Chuck walks in with Z. I don't know who's more popular, Tommy. Is it Chuck or Z? But I just know the room just stops.
It's Z.
Silence.
Z's the most popular.
But you mentioned
nicer.
That's right. That's right. He's more personal.
He'll talk to the little people. Chuck just move these people out of my way.
I always think Chuck's in work mode. Like I
am in work mode. See, here's the thing. Let me just say this right now, and I'll get it out of the way. all you guys, and by you guys, Ty, I mean you and all the other media people, particularly the writers. The bulk of their work comes after the game. The bulk of my work comes before the game. I'm in work mode at 6:30. I mean, I really am. At 5:30, I'm in work mode. What if I were to walk in on, and I used to tell Clay this, what if I were to walk in on you guys 30 minutes after the game when you're writing your story and go, hey, man, how's it going? How are those fish biting the other day over there? I mean, those guys would run me out of the room. But they don't want to come up and chat before the game, and my mind's a million miles away. I just had to get that off my chest.
I'm glad.
Sorry, you struck a nerve.
I'm glad. I'm usually, hey, Chuck, what's up, man? Hey, Ty.
I've heard that speech before.
I don't blame you being like that. It's funny, and I've seen Hunter during the course of a game or right before a game, and I mean, I'll see him, and I could just tell his mind is very focused, and y'all are kind of in the same cut of cloth there. I'm like, they don't really want to talk. I'm just, hey, man, what's up? What's going on? And then that's the extent of the conversation. So I get that.
Maybe it's just you, Ty.
Maybe
it's just you.
That could be
Maybe it's Italian silk. Maybe that's the cloth you're cut from there.
That could be it.
What's your thread count there, Chuck?
I don't know.
Y'all were kind of talking
Egyptian cotton.
Yeah, it's something. It's something special. There's no question. Y'all were mentioning not just the high school kids like Boogie Flank, Carter Knox. We'll see about Billy Richmond, but also the relationships that maybe he has to build in the transfer portal. And one of those guys being Janelle Davis, FAU guard that a lot of people want. Here was Jeff Berzillo yesterday, who told us that sounds like Arkansas, as Chuck was kind of talking about earlier, might be in the driver's seat.
I think they both can. I mean, I think Arkansas is the favorite for Janelle Davis right now. I know other schools are trying to get in the mix, but it seems over the past probably week and a half now where Arkansas has emerged as the favorite in the driver's seat. And there was always questions whether he would follow Dusty May to Michigan. It never seemed like it was as likely as perceived. And, I mean, he's the best available guard in the portal, probably the best available player in the portal at this point. He would, I think, thrive in sort of Cal's system.
See, to me, this is the part in all of this that is most interesting, is what happens in the portal. We know John Calipari can go sign the best high school players in the world. We know that. He's proven it time and time again. We are seeing right now the dividends of a great recruiter's ability to build relationships. We're seeing that. But, you know, when Kentucky's season ended, he indicated that there might be some modification to the way he assembled his roster, i.e. the transfer portal. So, you know, now at Arkansas, that's one of the things, honestly, I've wondered, you know, how would he approach that? Well, you go from, you know, being the one who gets commitments from and ultimately signs the top high school players in the country to being the supposed leader, according to this guy, for the top guy in the transfer portal. So if you can recruit the transfer portal with the same effectiveness that you recruit the high school ranks, and look, that's a big if. I mean, that's a huge if. I don't know. But if he can, you know, you might have a chance to put together a team that's really special.
So when you try to balance the scales of the conversations he's having, and only he can answer this factually for us, how much of it is about NIL and the money, and how much of it is, I'll get you to the NBA. I'll make you one of these players you're watching on TV right now. Because you got to have both to be the elite recruiter he is, and I think the conversation's always been about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but now the pot of gold's, I guess, on both ends of the rainbow. I don't know, but you got to have that pot of gold up front and a bigger pot of gold on the back end. And I wonder where the conversation balances because – to me, still his biggest draw is his track record with the NBA.
Well, it depends on the player because I think some players understand that, hey, even if I take a little less here, which it sounds like Arkansas, you're not going to have to take that much less based on the reports out there. But some will understand it's like it's not about just the small amount in terms of what you could potentially make at the next level. Okay. But then other guys will try and go up front and try and get the most up front, which is maybe why some guys won't end up at Arkansas.
Or Chuck,
I think the thing that you have to realize, guys, you've talked about these players that played for Calipari that we're watching on television right now in the playoffs and the success that they're having. This was their end game. This was their ultimate goal. It was not to win a national championship at Kentucky, much to the chagrin of their fans. Some of these guys coming through here, we're going to have to get used to the fact that their ultimate goal is not to win a national championship at Arkansas. Their ultimate goal is to do what these guys we're watching every night in the playoffs are doing. Calipari's got the best track record of getting them there. That's his attraction. Does NIL money play a role now? Yes, but here's the thing about these five-star guys. It doesn't matter where they go. There's going to be an awful lot of NIL money. And this is, I almost look at it for these guys like a bonus. They're going to get paid. They knew they were going to get paid at the end. Now they get paid along the way, too. I mean, what kind of a deal is that? It doesn't get any better. But I still think his attraction to these guys, is the opportunity for them to do what we're seeing these guys on television do right now. I'm going to tell you, SGA, he was a great player at Kentucky, but he was 18 years old. Wasn't anything like he is now. There are other guys that have excelled in the NBA that you look at, and they were really, really good players at Kentucky, great players at Kentucky with NBA futures, but they weren't as good as they are now. And this is why those kids are attracted to Cal, because, as he said, he's players first. And he feels as good about these guys doing what they're doing right now as he did when they were doing what they were doing for Kentucky. Most coaches aren't like that. They want to know what you can do for them now. He has, along the way, developed a track record of signing guys and staying with guys, even though he knows their best days may come after they leave him. And to me, that's what players first means. And I think that's something he's displayed throughout his career. Hey, if you're buying or selling a home, if you're looking to buy a home, if you got to sell, if you're moving, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, is the name you need to remember. They've been my partners multiple times, and I can tell you that, from the very first time we had our conversation, I knew that they were paying attention, that I wasn't just another client, so to speak, that they understood my needs, and they made it happen. When you deal with a trained real estate agent, they put a plan in front of you, whether you're buying or selling. And I've always thought if they can't put a plan in front of you, they probably don't have one. They did that right away, particularly when it came time to sell later on. That was important. And every step of the process was followed. And ultimately, we got from contract to close, which is where you want to be at the end of the day. Now, they've got offices in Northwest Arkansas. They're in Washington County. They're in Benton County. They're in Fort Smith. Year's talking about their office in Branson. They've got a wide selection of homes, and you can check them out at WeichertGriffin.com.
Some of you saw it live. Some of you listened to it right here on ESPN Arkansas. But the Chicago Bears continue to be a poverty franchise, making bonehead decisions like they did selecting Caleb Williams #1 last night.
With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback, Southern California.
There he is, a Detroit cheer for Caleb Williams.
I thought the setup in Detroit was pretty cool last night. I enjoy watching the NFL draft, and you can hear the jeers, obviously, as a division rival. But, guys, Jaden Daniels is going to be a better quarterback at Washington than Caleb Williams is at Chicago Bear. I have no doubt in my mind.
Why
that's
do
gonna
you
be
have
that
no
case.
doubt
No
that
doubt.
Jalen Daniels is going to be better than Caleb Williams? Why do you
Get
have
in the
no
SEC.
doubt?
It's not painting his nails. I mean, there's so many things that you can point
That's
to
a good reason.
that leads you to believe that this guy is going to be the continued development that you saw in college from Daniels from Arizona State to being okay at LSU to being a Heisman Trophy winner, having the ability to not just, I know Caleb Williams can escape, but not turning the ball over. I mean, there are so many more attributes, so many more things I like about Jaden Daniels than Caleb Williams. And the Bears just terrible run. Ryan Poles is a bum, and that franchise is going to continue to be at rock bottom, even with a new $4-point-something billion stadium. That's a poverty franchise in Chicago.
Wow, that's strong. Just for the record, I don't think either one of them is going to be a star. I think Caleb Williams has a better chance to play than Daniels. I just don't think Daniels. And look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think he's a great college quarterback. I do not see an NFL skill set there. And not that I'm no NFL analyst, but when I watch him play, I don't see an NFL quarterback. I think Williams has the skill set, but I don't know. There's so many things he said. I wonder if he's a great teammate or not.
He's one of the,
is to me the ultimate for a quarterback. You got to be a great teammate.
One of the cockiest first-round picks I think I've ever seen publicly. You can be that privately. You might be behind closed doors, but like you said, some of the things that I've read, some of the things that I've listened to him say, I mean, he's got to back that up. Maybe he can. I'll give C.J. Stroud credit. I did not think C.J. Stroud, the Ohio State Buckeye quarterback, would come in and do what he did for the Houston Texans. But he backed it up and then some. They just added Diggs.
All that matters. What matters most is being a great teammate. If Caleb Williams comes in and he's a great teammate in the locker room, he can say whatever he wants to say out in public. All these guys understand how that works. They understand the media game. They all want to be stars. They all want to be that guy the media runs to, whether they admit it or not. They'll let him play that game as long as he's a great teammate when the doors are shut. And I don't know if he is or not. I have doubts based on the public stuff. But sometimes that doesn't have anything to do with it. So I guess we'll find out.
Here's one thing you can't doubt. The worst quarterback room in the National Football League, Tommy, belongs to Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. And they were hooping and hollering like they won the lottery last night.
You know, when they cut to that room and everybody's chest bumping and fist bumping, and it looked like they had tuned into NASA when they landed the man on the moon. It looked like, they had saved Apollo 11. I'm with you. I mean, I don't know that Denver got any better. So.
Isn't there it's nothing better than watching a bunch of middle-aged guys chest bump. I mean, it's like, dude, man, that's a young man's game. Chest bump is a young man's game.
How about J.J. McCarthy sliding all the way down to 10 and going to the Vikings?
Bust. College quarterback, no chance in the NFL.
Then is anybody any good?
Dan Daniels and Michael Penix. Falcons actually made a good draft pick last night, and Colton brings up a good point. I mean, the worst – you think about the Broncos quarterback room. It's a college quarterback room. You got Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Bo Nix. Bo Nix could hack in the SEC. He can't hack in the NFL. Stidham had one good year at Auburn, and Zach Wilson can't play. He can't play. That's your quarterback room. But, yes, J.J. McCarthy is going to be a bust, Tommy. Penix and Daniels are the only quarterbacks worth monitoring from here on out because the other four guys that were drafted in the first round.
I think May's better than you think he is.
Really?
I think May's better than you think he is.
I don't buy it.
This is professional football. It's a different game. A lot of the things that make these guys great college quarterbacks don't work in the NFL. You cannot improvise. You cannot make a career out of improvisation at quarterback in the NFL.
But aren't we watching Mahomes do that? And Josh Allen? I mean, I think the game's –
These guys are not at that level, Todd. And for that matter, I don't recall hearing you one time say, man, that Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be a star, man.
I remember when Arkansas lost to Texas Tech back in 2015, and I was doing student radio at the time, and I was just grilling Brett Bielema. I was like, you lost to this guy? This bum? This Texas kid that no one's heard of? And
Mayhems. We lost to the Mayhems guy.
9 years later, so those comments maybe off.
Some things just don't age well. That's how it works, man.
Burn the tape. Burn the tape. That's all I can tell you. Hey, brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate job openings in Boone, Marion, Baxter, Benton, and Washington counties. If you're looking for a new job, a new organization, a great company, APAC is the one that you need to check out. Apply today online. Jobs.crh.com. They'll be in touch quickly with the opportunity to sit down with their team and find out more about all the variety of jobs. But when you go to that interactive map at jobs.crh.com, you can see the jobs you can apply for now with great pay, great benefits that include insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, hour 2 is coming up here on a Fastball Friday. Hadn't really talked baseball just yet. Let's do that next.
On Saturday, April 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., NAFI and local law enforcement will host DEA's National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day at locations across the region. Take-Back Day offers free and anonymous disposal of unneeded medications at close to 5,000 local drop-off locations nationwide. Join us at Harrison City Hall, Boone County Sheriff Department, Mountain Home Police Department, or Tractor Supply in Mountain Home. For more information, contact Kyle Evett at 870-391-3367.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi,
That's the million-dollar question.
This is the Morning Rush. The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on remaining 2023 Buick Envisions. Or choose up to $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision, it's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
If you've lived in the River Valley for a while, you know about the great reputation of Jam Mart. And their newest location at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith is open. Stop by for coffee, gas, beer, snacks, ices, and a clean restroom every time. Don't forget about the hot deli and fresh-made burgers. Now 7 locations in Fort Smith, Greenwood, Boonville, Ozark, and Danville. Sign up for their loyalty program for discounts throughout the stores. Jam Mart, the leading convenience store and gas station in the region.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $425 off of your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
With over $30,000 in cash and prizes, don't miss the 34th annual Judge Greg Ray Memorial Tri-Lakes Big Bass Festival, sponsored by the Sevier County Chamber of Commerce, Saturday, May 25th, Memorial Day weekend. Head to Gillum, DeQueen, or Dirks Lake and set your sights and your hook on the special $10,000 Reel the Weight prize on each lake if your winning numbers match up. Go online, SevierCountyChamberofCommerce.org for an entry form. This ad paid for with state and regional funds.
Pay attention. This happens fast. You need money. You get a job. Turns out that job doesn't pay near enough for the nonsense it puts you through every day. You want to move fast, but the clock moves slow. You're smart, though. You know machines. You want to work at a place as fast as you. You call Medley Equipment Company. They need a technician, and they'll teach you everything you need to know to be the best, with pay raises all along. Because Medley keeps you moving.
I'm Branch Manager Dennis Mabry. Visit medleycompany.com or see us at 4001 Harper Avenue, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, active weather expected to increase. We could see the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and the potential for some tornadoes this afternoon through the early part of tonight. High temperatures today in the low to mid 70s. We'll see a chance of showers and strong storms early tonight. Overnight lows near 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers,
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your morning.
ESPN 95.3.
Well, I know it's highly anticipated series and just ticket demand and people calling me, texting me, wanting to get tickets, friends and former teammates coming around, want to watch a game. And this seems to be the one they want to see. It's kind of a bummer on the weather, but, you know, if you're a baseball fan, we play 2 on Saturday. You can have a long day at the park to see a lot of talent.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studio. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Kristen Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bensenville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Hey, welcome back into hour number 2 here on a Fastball Friday. Heard Dave Van Horn talking about this Florida Gators matchup this weekend. You know Hagen Smith is a first-round guy. You've got some other guys that are going to be drafted like Peyton Stovall. What about who Florida is bringing in town? Jack Caglione's going to be the mainstay that you hear about, but some other guys that, despite a below 500 and slightly above 500 overall record, Gators no team to be trifled with. Dave knows that. His team knows that. We'll see how they play today. Tommy, game's been moved up a little bit due to inclement weather expected tonight. 6 o'clock, first pitch.
Yep, a little bit earlier, hour earlier tonight, and we'll have to see what happens. Maybe a doubleheader. Sunday seems to be the day where it's going to rain at least more in the daytime. So weather is going to be certainly a factor this weekend, already is. Hey, we're brought to you by Farm Credit. For over a century, your friends and neighbors at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas have helped you keep your farm or ranch up and running through the good and the tough times. Visit myaglender.com or drop in any of their 25 locations near you and see how Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can keep you, your farm, and your ranch operating from sunrise to sunset.
All right, so what's going on with this Arkansas basketball team? You get a commit last night from Boogie Flan, young man from White Plains, New York, Archbishop High School, guy that's got some connections with some guys that you may expect to come on campus at some point in time. You've got Big Z, you've got Carter Knox. What about some other guys that you may be after? We had Jeff Borzello on yesterday talking all things Arkansas basketball. We've heard a little thing or two about Jonas Adu and a possible visit and maybe the inclination that he might wind up as a Razorback. What did Jeff have to say about that possibility? Take a listen.
I do think they're the favorite. Adu, he's another guy. I mean, he's a top 10 transfer right now, one of the best front court players. He's a plug and play. You know, he can make it. You know, he's experienced in the SEC. He was one of the best defensive players in the league. Third team, I believe, all conference, or second team all conference. And so it seems like they are certainly in the driver's seat for Janelle Davis, and I think they're in a pretty good position for Jonas Adu also.
I think what stood out to me thus far, and I know that Fland and Carter Knox are both guards. Big Z's their big man. Guys, it sure seems like that a lot of big men are considering Arkansas. And I know Muss did it a little differently these last few years, and they had success, and they had NCAA tournament success potentially. But you think about some of those Nolan Richardson teams, Chuck, a lot of big men down low, a lot of studs, especially after UNLV came in and did what they did.
I think it also speaks to Kenny Payne being on the staff.
Good point.
That you've got big men that are considering Arkansas very strongly. For all his struggles as a head coach at Louisville, he has built quite the reputation over the years as being a very effective coach of the big guys. So I think that's got something to do with it. But now look, it's clearly the overall lure of John Calipari that is the key in all this. But I think having a great staff, part of being a great coach is having a great staff, and he's got a great staff, too.
Sounds like Oklahoma State transfer Brandon Garrison's going to be here in Fayetteville on Sunday, according to reports. 6'11", guy that had solid stats in his freshman year, maybe can grow a little bit. And you mentioned that staff. If you go to ArkansasRazorbacks.com, I found this interesting yesterday. Ronnie Brewer is listed only with Kenny Payne, only with John Calipari, as the only other assistant. He's listed as an assistant coach and the recruiting coordinator on the website. There's been no announcement officially. There's also been no one that said he's not on staff. But I did find that a little interesting yesterday that only those three guys are currently on the website. Maybe makes you believe that he is going to be retained on this staff.
Are those the only three guys working? That's what we don't know.
Well,
either.
yeah, that's the thing that I think you have to look at this. This may mean something, Ty. It may not. The other guys are not, until they sign contracts and they become university employees, they're not on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie's on the website if for no other reason because he's still under contract.
Yeah.
He's still getting paid. He's still part of the university staff. look, that you could be right. It might mean something, but it might not mean anything at all. We just don't know.
And Ronnie may be still trying to prove himself to Coach Cal why he deserves a spot, needs a spot somewhere in that organization. I don't know any of that, but wouldn't surprise me at all that he's still trying to worm his way into being a part of this.
I think your body of work is your body of work,
yeah.
And I don't think there's any convincing. Quite frankly, I don't think that John Calipari's had he's had his army, so to speak, over the years, guys that have traveled with him. A lot of these guys are traveling to Fayetteville. I think what Ronnie Brewer has done stands on its own. I don't think he's got to do any convincing. I think that his track record speaks for itself. I think it's a question of, is there a fit?
Mm-hmm.
If the fit is there, great. Fit may not be there. We just don't know.
Yeah.
But look, if anybody's trying to do any convincing, it's probably staff guys who are students, for example, guys who are young in their careers, guys who are trying to keep jobs, guys who are trying to keep food on the table. Those are the guys who are sweating it. Anytime there's a coaching change. I'm speaking generally. I'm not necessarily talking about this, but when there's a coaching change, it's the guys that just bought their first house that are worried. Ronnie's going to be fine. I'm a Ronnie Brewer fan, and I hope there's a place for Ronnie Brewer, but we'll just have to see how it all shakes out.
And I bring that up because he doesn't have, an extensive number of years as a full-time assistant. He's been a staff guy who's sat on the bench and worked with players, but you say your body of work. I just don't, how extensive is his body of work? Obviously, there is a wealth of knowledge playing in the NBA and playing at the level he played, but that, coaching and playing are still two different crafts, if you will.
I think that, again, you've got to look at Coach Calipari's staff, and as we change the way we think about players, maybe we need to change the way we think about staff too. My goodness, one of his best assistants at Kentucky played for Louisville. So, it's not just about having your guy. Look, I don't want to speculate on this. I have no idea. Ty brought this up from a website standpoint, and I'm just telling you why I think Ronnie's name is still on the website, and it may or may not mean anything. I just don't know.
And, seems like money has all of a sudden become no object, but you're paying a head coach more than you paid your entire coaching staff last year.
Yep.
Then you've added a $900,000 assistant on top of an $8 million coach. I don't know what the pool is. Maybe the pool has an unlimited depth. I don't know.
Whoever he feels like can help him win a national championship.
Yeah,
that's what the pool is.
And I hope that's Ronnie, but we'll have to wait and see what he decides. I know Orlando Antigua, who's been with Cal in a couple stops, is going to Illinois with Brad Underwood again. So that's maybe one other staff position that could be filled.
Yeah.
I think it's a numbers game. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a question of ability or this guy can do this better than this guy. I think at this point, staff's a numbers game.
All right, the Cal Tracker brought to you by Lindbergh Real Estate Group. They're serving all the Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all of your real estate needs, go to LindberghTeam.com. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
So we had the NFL draft for you last night. Did you like who the Cowboys, the Chiefs, your favorite team selected in the first round? Are you disgusted? Were you throwing your drink? Were you throwing your food? Were you angry at who your general manager or owner decided to pick in the first round last night? That's our Morning Rush Daily Question. We'll get into it when we come back. You can jump in here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline next.
The Cal era is here. Championship Under Construction is brought to you by Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LindberghTeam.com. Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LindberghTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
Say goodbye.
Call or text the McLarty Daniel hotline to join the conversation on ESPN Arkansas. 877-377-6963. McLarty Daniel has a vehicle to fit both your style and budget. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, you're never too far from a good deal. Visit McLartyDaniel.com to find your next ride. Find your next ride with McLarty Daniel at a price you'll love. Join the conversation on ESPN Arkansas at 877-377-6963.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's 2024. Let's go see what's new at the Golf Nut. Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke Woods and Irons. The world's first AI smart face designed using real player data. Cobra Dark Speed Woods and Irons. The fastest driver Cobra has ever built. Start the new year off with a lesson and feel more confident on the course. Contact Matt Brooks at 646-4430. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith. Your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushfield. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Light.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
So we heard this sound 32 times last night. Some of you liked who your favorite franchise drafted with their first-round pick. Others were indifferent, and others hated your pick. The Green Bay Packers, with their selection, went with...
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the...
Whatever. The Packers went with the Cowboys went with an offensive lineman. The Chiefs went with a wide receiver. Guys, Chuck, we'll start with you. What did you think of the Cowboys draft selection last night? I was just indifferent about the Packers.
Well, if Tyler Guyton turns out to be a good player, I'll be real happy with it. If he turns out to be a bust, it'll be one of those that, you just don't talk about. He's big as a house. I know that. He's 6'8" and 322. Sooner fans know about him. I had to laugh because the guy, now again, 6'8", 322, they're a little bit concerned about his body mass. They'd like him to get a little bigger. They're not really sure he's big enough. They think he could carry 340 perhaps. So, look, you look at great teams, they always have great tackles on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Not generally, but always. And they can become the cornerstones in many respects of your franchise when you think about the great ones. And we always talk about everybody's looking for a franchise quarterback. You're looking for a franchise offensive tackle, too, particularly on the left side. And those guys can play forever if they're good. So, maybe he'll be that guy. He's big enough, that's for sure.
This is a text from Josh and Harrison. I don't think he's a Kansas City fan based on this text, but he's saying the Bills trading with Kansas City and allowing KC to get Xavier Worthy is beyond dumb. Now the entire league should be upset that Patrick Mahomes has another weapon to go on. And that was the issue last year, was the Kansas City offense didn't really start clicking in the playoffs, but now you've added wide receivers the past 2 years and early draft picks. Kansas City's offense, guys, could look a lot better this season, which is a detriment to the rest of the National Football League.
Well, I think it's a big leap, though, to say that, hey, this guy's going to be an automatic. If he's good, yeah, it adds a weapon. But, it's a leap right now to say Kansas City's offense is better. There's potential there.
Yeah. We were talking about, Tommy, earlier before we came on, offensive-oriented. 23 of the 32 draft picks from offense last, 6 quarterbacks go in the first round. There's a lot of league not playing any defense anymore, or what?
Well, all the rules are set up to favor the offense, but there was not a defensive player taken until the Colts took the guy to UCLA, the edge rusher at 15. It was all offensive players in the first 14 picks, Chuck.
Well, and so much of this, I say so much. Part of this is the the fact that the draft is an event right now, and all over America. This morning, people are analyzing picks from teams as though they really understand what might happen. So I think part of it is the glamour. And you've got a lot more people standing up and cheering when you draft an offensive player, particularly a skilled player. Poor old Jim Harbaugh, they thought he was going to draft Malik Neighbors, and he drafted an offensive lineman, and they booed him. So, it's people want the glamour, guys, and I don't know. Sometimes with all the hype around the draft, it's almost to me kind of like trying to win the press conference. It's great that day, but what does it really mean long term? Obviously, with draft picks, we'll find out when they play.
I'll give Jerry credit because I know sometimes he likes to be in the headlines, but going that route, I think, again, as a Dallas Cowboy fan, you've been a little disappointed this offseason because they hadn't done anything. But this is probably the wise move for their future, whether Dak's throwing the football or whoever's slinging it for this franchise the next 10 years. You want to always be solidified, as you were talking about, on that offensive line.
But never fall into the trap of thinking a player is going to be as good or as bad as a pro as he was as a collegiate.
That's a great point, yeah.
It's an indicator. That's all that it is. It means you are a good enough college player to make the pros spend some money on you and take a shot. But it doesn't mean anything more than that. Your game's got to translate to the next level now. And it's just an entirely different game.
13 if you count Oklahoma and Texas. 13 guys from the SEC drafted last night. Just 10 if you don't include the Longhorns and the Sooners. But it's just par for the course, man. SEC, best conference in football. I know the Big Ten's caught up a little bit, Michigan being a huge part of that. But that is just it's insane how many SEC guys are drafted year in, year out, especially in the first round.
Well, when you speak generally, it's the combination of size and speed. You know, that makes a lot of these SEC players NFL prospects. And then you throw in some skill players that can be game changers, like someone like a Malik Neighbors, for example, someone who has the ability to change the game with their speed. There just aren't many places you can find players like that. There are a lot of them in the SEC.
Yeah, and Arkansas, unfortunately, has to deal with defending them.
You got to play them every week.
Yeah.
And we had to see that dork Drinkowitz on there last night at least once. So, all right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question. It's brought to you by...
They'll get on you now, my man. You better watch yourself.
I know it.
They'll
Brought to you
get
by
on.
Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Let's talk to former Razorback pitcher Scott Tabor on the Morning Rush. Our conversation with Scott is brought to you by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Razorback shopping experience. Located next to Whole Foods in Fayetteville or shop alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, where Razorback fans shop.
Go crazy at Ball Walker! Go nuts!
For those that don't know, Arkansas is dealing with a little bit of a pitching change this weekend. Mason Molina will not go this weekend. He's dealing with a kind of a bum ankle that he hurt in some drills of sorts. I'm paraphrasing what Dave said. So they're going to go Hagen Smith, Brady Tiger, TBA on either Sunday or Saturday doubleheader if the game gets changed. As we welcome in Scott Tabor here. Scott, how do you think that affects the pitching rotation, moving Brady up and really maybe not knowing who's going to 100% start on Sunday?
Well, you know, we talked early in the year about the fact that the big three, our three starting pitchers, probably won't be the three starting pitchers all year because something always happens, whether it's just a sore arm or a bad breakup or somebody twists an ankle, or which is what happened. And this team is built to handle that. And that's what those midweek games are why they're so important, because it shows who can start, who can go 5-6 innings and do it with efficiency. I think we're loaded. And I think, you know, Molina's had some control issues. The issues that I think he had in the fall, which were kind of his big question, were kind of popping their head up. You know, if you walk to many people in this league, in any league, they're going to come around and score. So it's not a bad deal. Somebody else is going to get a shot, and it may be somebody who never gets back out the lineup. It'd be the Wally Pitt story.
You told us a great story last week when you were kind of waving off who you didn't know at the time, your head baseball coach, Norm O'Brien. Was there ever a situation that you were telling Norm, it's like, I'm a little banged up, I'm going to hurt, and he was just like, you got to get out there. You got to finish this inning.
You never told Norm that stuff. You talked to your pitching coach, you know, and they could tell. You know, you said, my arm's a little bit stiff. I was coming out of the bullpen. And I had some shoulder issues later in my career, and missed a couple of starts. In fact, my senior year, I messed my back up throwing against Texas A&M, and I was out for 5 weeks. And it's a pitcher's obligation to kind of tell them, because they need to know. And then we've always talked about coaches need to know what they're putting out on the mound. Is it a guy that's going to be able to go a complete game? Is it a guy he's a 5 and dive, or is it a guy that's going to get 3 innings, or throw strikes, or get hit hard? You know, so they need to know. And this team has had enough innings, and you can look at the innings up and down our roster, and you can tell what guys can produce and what guys can't. So I had to, and that's a hard thing to do because you want to play. And as a pitcher, I was always an everyday player. You know, not through high school, but always an everyday player, and just I hated not being on the field. So if I had my one chance once a week, I wanted to be there for 9 innings.
Former Razorback Scott Tabor with us on the Morning Rush is brought to you by Alumni Hall. Scott, what's your read on Florida? I mean, at the outset of the season, I thought this was going to be 2 top 5 teams squaring off at the end of April. Florida hasn't held up their end of the bargain on that. They've kind of fallen on rough times. What's your read on the Gators as we enter this weekend?
Well, you can't really rest on them. You know, they're a high Division I team. They've got talented kids, and they do every year. Florida puts out a bunch of them. I think it's their pitching woes. You know, they got some guys walking some guys. They've got some talented players. Is it Caglione? I'd love to go just to watch him swing the bat and throw the ball. He's just a talent. You know, he's a generational talent. They're good, and we've proven that good pitching can shut us down, and it doesn't have to even be great pitching. And we can't afford to get shut down completely. We need to be efficient at the plate. I think our pitching will hold them down, and I think these are all my opinions. I think Van Horn and the staff are realizing a little bit, and we've always kind of talked about it. You know, playing a little small ball here and there doesn't hurt because we don't have to score 15 runs to win the ball game. We can get 4 or 5 runs in the hopper and then start going to our bullpen. Our bullpen's better than their bullpen. Our starters are as good or better than their starters. Hagen Smith, you can't really compare him, so he's better than everybody. So I think we'll be fine, and I think it should be a good weekend.
Yeah. Our buddy Clay wrote a column, and people can read it. It's on the baseball team and kind of the offense and people's wringing of hands, if you will, about the lack of power hitting in some cases. But one of the things he talked about in that was about Hagen Smith in his thoughts, and maybe he's one of the best of all time at Arkansas. That's a mouthful, I think, is exactly the way he wrote it. As you've watched more and more of his body of work, and you've watched a lot of these great ones, where is he start? What elevation, what altitude is he starting to put himself in your opinion?
The first four players picked, at least two. I mean, he's got to be. He's just the talent. And then pro ball is different from college. And Chuck, you were hitting on it earlier, and because great college pitching or great college hitting, or great college pitching especially, or a great player in college does not necessarily translate in any sport to a draft pick or even a high draft pick, or especially a great professional player. It's just a whole different game. When you get drafted, they're drafting a lot on potential and your height and weight, and in football, the size of their hands and all kinds of little metrics that seem worthless. But that's the way they do it. I mean, it's a business, and they want to know they're getting their best bang for their buck. And then you'll have some guys, myself, I was a better than average college pitcher, and I was a better than average pro pitcher. I had to prove myself every year. How is he still getting people out? Well, they're hitting it right at them. Best pitch in baseball. So you just keep doing that and keep doing that. You have some guys that earn their way up, some guys that get pushed through the system and then get to the big leagues, and they're turning out they're pretty good. The scouts were right. So it's he's got the talent, and I know the scouts are waiting. I wish this season would hurry and get up so he can get through, so he can be done with no arm issues, and we can go ahead and pick him up and put him in the minor leagues and start seeing how quickly we can get him up there. I think he's fantastic.
Scott Tabor's with us via the McLarty Daniel Hotline, courtesy of Alumni Hall. Scott, you think about this weekend. So you've got 2 first-rounders going head-to-head in Caglione and Smith tonight. This weekend, I don't know if it's going to be sold out, but there's been a lot of people. Tommy ran out of tickets earlier in the week. They've won 20 of their last 21 SEC home series. Think about that. 20 of the last 21. What kind of difference are you seeing at Baum-Walker Stadium nowadays compared to what you guys had at George Goldfield? I mean, it is just night and day, it seems like.
Well, let's start with the field for one thing. They've got lights, we didn't. They've got stadiums and locker rooms, we didn't. We had a field. But a packed house for us was 1,000 people because there's no more room to put people. Packed house there, you're 10, 11,000 people, and it's an enjoyable experience. And that's what people go to ball games for. Otherwise, minor league parks would be full every night, but they're not, unless it's a nice park, and it's an enjoyable experience. And go and see the Razorbacks play because, people pile on. When it's fun, people go, hey, I hear that's a blast, let's go. And so everybody goes, and the more people, the merrier. And when you load it up and you start calling the Hogs, and then people go, what are those beer hats for? I'm going to get one of those. Now everybody's got one, and it's just fun. And the Razorbacks have done a fantastic job of making it the place to be. And that's tough. College kids coming in and playing in that environment, and they go, we've got a pretty nice park, but we don't bring 10,000 people in on a Tuesday night, and, especially on a weekend. And that matchup tonight, baseball enthusiasts want to see that. Regular fans, the weather may scare them a little bit, but I have to kind of wait and see on that.
Scott, sounds like that Sprague Lott's going to be back at third. I think he's dealing with back issues. Kendall, coming from Dave, sounds like he's going to be good. Those two guys, from a health standpoint, what are you thinking they're adding back? And we're seeing some Souza. We're seeing Holt out of the outfield. You think Dave's completely done tinkering what he's going to do with his batting order? Or we're still going to have to wait a couple weeks before we get the finalized rotation, basically?
Sprague Lott, if he's going to be back in starting lineup, he's got to produce. I think it's getting to the point where they're going to bring him back in. He's been dinged up a little bit, and back issues are really, really tough to deal with because they can kind of come and go, and one little tweak can mess you back up. But he's got people he can plug and play. Nolan Souza is a huge, huge, huge get. Peyton Holt, you know what you're getting out of Peyton. What's he hitting, 340, 345, somewhere around there? And so he's a guy you can plug and play, and you're not going to fall off at the plate at all. So if Sprague Lott can come back and hit the ball, Kendall seems like he's swinging the bat a lot. Seeing the ball better, just feeling more comfortable at the plate, and that's something that really, really needed to happen in this team. And so we've always talked about it. He's got a lot of toys to play with. So pinch hitting and late game substitutions are not a bad thing.
Scott, they're awfully fun to watch. Looking forward to seeing them an hour earlier than expected tonight, and we'll catch up with you next Friday and hear more about next weekend. And still some big series ahead. Arkansas's got to go on the road, and they're down to their last two at home, so we'll break it all down again next Friday.
Yep. Every series is a big series right now, so trying to get that top 8 seed and proceed from there.
All right, Scott Tabor with us here on the Morning Rush every Friday. It's brought to you by Alumni Hall, your ultimate Razorback shopping experience, the best and largest selection of licensed apparel. Listen to this lineup: Nike, Champion, Columbia, Onward Reserve, and maybe the MVP is Peter Millar. Plus, they have Yeti accessories and gifts. Hey, and if you're a student or a faculty member or you're in the military, you can take your ID in and get a 10% discount off and earn cash back with their Hall rewards that you can get, Hall Pass rewards, available at Alumni Hall. Here's the deal. For every $10 off, you get $10 off for every 150 points you earn at Alumni Hall. They're next to Whole Foods in Fayetteville, or shop online anytime at alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, it's where Razorback fans shop.
So Bobby only pitches, I think, a little over 2 innings earlier this week, so he's going to be available for Sunday or the Saturday doubleheader, depending on what happens there. Game's been moved up. We had Ronnie texting in on the McLarty Hotline. Game tonight has been moved up. But, guys, I'm curious who DVH kind of throws in that Sunday role starter. It doesn't sound like that they're going to go trying 5 or 6 innings, but who he just slots in there.
Well, some of it may have to do with whether they play 2 tomorrow or whether or not they play a single game on Sunday. And we just don't know that. I think that's kind of the wild card this weekend in a lot of respects. I do think it favors the home team. There's no question about that. I think when you've got a weekend where you kind of wait, and there may be some waiting. And there's already uncertainty, about what's going to happen. I think winning tonight is really important. Because when you get into maybe we're going to play 2 on Saturday, or let's try to play 2, or we get started in the second, we got to come back Sunday, that's when you can get swept. And all of a sudden, poof, the weekend's over and you've lost twice. So I've seen it happen, good and bad. When you get in situations like this, it's just a little weird. But you better win tonight.
Would that make a longer Hagen Smith outing a little more valuable tonight if he could be efficient, get you to 6 or 7 innings where you wouldn't have to rely on McIntyre for longer relief? Because I think there's a name that you probably want to rely on maybe because I think you're going to probably have to hold staff a game 3, and there would be a guy you'd want to have a few extra pitches out of.
Well, it'd be great if you could, yes. I don't think that Hagen Smith goes to the mound tonight, though, with the idea that, okay, I got to pitch 7 innings tonight. I think that's, if you have that mindset going out, sometimes you're out of the game by the 3rd. You've still got to go with your normal approach. But in a perfect world, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Smith gives you 7 innings tonight, and you don't have to use McIntyre. Because here's the thing. I mean, you look at the big picture. You got 3 games with Florida. You got 2 midweek games with Missouri State. You know, you play Tuesday and Wednesday. You travel Thursday. You play Kentucky Friday. So you got a lot coming up over the next week, and every bit of that pitching staff is going to be tested over the course of the next week to 10 days. So, but I do think as far as this weekend goes, what you do in Game 3 could be dictated by whether or not you play a doubleheader tomorrow. Not necessarily, but it could be.
We'll keep you updated on those different changes if they come right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. All right, let's talk to Steven in Nashville on the McLarty Data Hotline. He wants to jump back into the NFL draft. What's up, Steven? Steven, you there? All right, let's go to Brian in Ozark. He has some thoughts on college football. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing much.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, first, I'd like to make a comment on the draft last night and the Kansas City Chiefs drafting Xavier Worthy. And he is the fastest kid in the whole combine. So I think the Chiefs just got a whole lot better. You know, and I got a question for you, too, Kai.
All right.
I mean, I know you like the SEC. So when the college football playoffs or college bowls are going on, do you root for the SEC or individual teams?
I mean, I don't personally. It doesn't help Arkansas in any way, shape, or form outside of maybe the college football playoff and getting some revenue from that. When the SEC teams win, it just hurts you in terms of recruiting and seeing other teams have success.
Oh, okay. So that means when Texas is in the college playoffs this year, the national title, you're not going to root for them?
I went for Texas to get Alabama and Tuscaloosa, but I didn't root for them the rest of the year. So, no, probably not.
The reason I was talking about Xavier Worthy, I mean, he actually burned Alabama's defense. They couldn't keep up with him, or A.D. Mitchell, for that matter of fact. They ran all over that defense. It was pretty cool. But anyways, I was just curious if you read it or rooted for the SEC or just individual teams. And you guys have a great day.
Thanks, Brian. Yeah, I mean, Worthy's a stud. I think I said it earlier, Kansas City out of that wide receiver room. Now, you got to go from college to the NFL, like Chuck was saying earlier, but he can play. And
he's fast enough.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He's fast enough.
He's got some skill to him. But, no, I will not be cheering for Texas, especially when they come into Fayetteville on November the 16th.
Yeah. If you are a root for the league guy, that may be your new policies. If Texas, of course, we're talking about Texas getting a championship game. Let's not.
Everybody but Texas and Oklahoma and Alabama, and I hate LSU too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody but them, and maybe
LSU.
Ole Miss,
Yeah.
and South Carolina.
Yeah.
Other than those guys, I'm all for them.
Yeah, I'm not wild about Auburn either. So, but anyway, hey, I am wild about Gaston's White River Resort. I was talking with Clay, and he was visiting with Clint Gaston, and just yesterday they were at a meeting together, and was telling me about some of the fish that have been caught recently there on the White River out of the Gaston's dock, and it's been impressive. Great fishing, great time, and always a great place for great memory building, if you will, at Gaston's White River Resort. Book your reservations with one phone call, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Listen to that last segment, I promise you, it sounded like I walked into a barbershop and listened to two old men just go at it. That was great.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Get ready to roll this season with huge savings during New Holland's Ready to Roll sales event going on now at WT Equipment. Right now, get 0% financing up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and 72 months on compacts. Or choose cash back and save thousands. Whether you need consistent strength and efficiency for your daily grind or an upgrade for the weekend chores, WT has the machines you need with the deals you want. Subject to credit approval, standard term conditions and restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Engagement season is in full swing, and Diamond Center wants to be part of your story. For the entire month of April, we're offering 5 years of 0% interest on purchases. That's right, 5 years, 60 months, 0 interest financing. There has never been a better time to pick out the perfect engagement ring and pop the question. Let Diamond Center help you begin this next step of your journey together with 5 years of 0 interest financing for the entire month of April on all custom design and in-stock pieces of jewelry. Diamond Center, a legacy of love.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth.
And this is the reigning champion of my own conference, Robert.
You do realize that's not a thing.
Well, I did receive a plaque commemorating that accomplishment.
Yeah, and I was elected the president of Mars. Anyway, Hog fans, it's that time again.
It's baseball season. And Hog fans, the Stadium Shop has everything you need for Razorback baseball.
From t-shirts, sweatshirts, man cave stuff, and even a Razorback original, the Bases Loaded beer hats.
Plus, ladies, as well as a restocked women's section, we have the Bases Loaded beer stein boppers.
Yeah, it's kind of like those old-time space alien antennas, you know?
Yeah, well, not really.
So when you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road, next door to Baum Walker Stadium, or you can shop us on them WW Interweb, FaceGram, you get it, Matthew.
Dad, do you mean the website?
Yeah.
Which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
As always,
Go Hogs!
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Cinco de Mayo is here, and Joe's Grill and Cantina is ready to celebrate. The fun begins Friday and goes through Sunday. That's right, Joe's will be open on Sunday for the celebrations. Fun for the entire family. Endless enchiladas all day on Saturday. Margaritas and food specials going on all weekend. Live music, and don't forget the annual taco eating contest. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo at Joe's Grill and Cantina, across from Harps off South 74th Street in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas! season.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
The game tonight has been up to 6 o'clock. Originally slated for 7, but with inclement weather looking like it's hitting Fayetteville, Arkansas, they've moved it up. Dave Van Horn had some thoughts on Florida yesterday. Here is what your head coach had to say about the Gators.
Played an extremely tough non-conference schedule. You know, they played Florida State, I think, 3 times, and Miami, and they haven't done great. Against Florida State, it was really good this year, and maybe had a little more pitching depth, and that's where some of their losses have come against some of the really good midweek teams. And then, league play, it's been up and down with their pitching. I mean, offensively, they're strong. They've hit a bunch of home runs, I think like 90.
And Caglione is the leader in that one, Chuck. He's hitting like 400 plus. Got a decent ERA and record, too. So we're going to see him on Sunday, it looks like, or maybe Saturday in the doubleheader. But that's the bat you got to watch out for this weekend.
Well, he's a great player. Probably going to be the Golden Spikes Award winner. I can't imagine that he would not be. I think he'll be a big leaguer. I'm not sure where they've got him projected. I've not read, honestly, his draft projection. I would imagine it's as a hitter. But he, I'm old enough to remember when Todd Helton played for Tennessee, and Caglione kind of reminds me of him, although I think he may be a better pitcher than Helton was, although Helton was a very good pitcher when he was in college.
I listened to Dave a little bit. He thinks also that he's probably going to project as a hitter, but we're seeing Ohtani, so you never know.
Well, I don't think he's Ohtani, but he's the best player that I've seen in college baseball this year. I'll put it that way.
Arkansas basketball and football got commits yesterday. Boogie Flan, 5-star out of New York, has committed to your Arkansas basketball program. And then Taj Overton has committed to Sam Pittman, the Arkansas baseball team, 3-star safety out of Mobile, Alabama. Still keeping an eye on who could be coming soon. Sounds like Brandon Garrison, according to reports, Oklahoma State center, 6'11", was a freshman last year, is going to be in town on Sunday. So the Cal tracker keeps moving, and Chuck, it sure sounds like he and the rest of his staff are working overtime based on how Arkansas continues to be in the news and recruiting side of things.
Well, he's working it every day. 24/7. When you are a coach, every day is a recruiting day. And you are in a constant state of recruiting mode. And he just happens to do it at a level that's a whole lot higher than most. So when when the news breaks that Calipari's on a certain player, and it was this way at Kentucky, and it's this way here now, when news breaks that he's in on a particular player, he's a good player. He's a guy that everybody would like to have, and he's probably a guy that's going to the NBA at some point.
Last thing here, Courtney Deifel and the softball team coming off a big series win against Alabama back-to-back for the first time in program history. They have the pleasantry of now traveling to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. Game is at 6 o'clock tonight. Here's Deifel on what challenges LSU presents.
It's going to be a challenge. You're playing, they have a strong pitching staff. They have a strong offense. We're playing at LSU, which is a tough place to play. So it's going to be a huge challenge.
Later on tonight and the rest of the weekend, we'll see if LSU or Arkansas can go back-to-back, Chuck.
Hey, one thing I think we should point out with this softball team, it's not like they're overachieving when they beat Alabama. It's not like they'll be overachieving if they go down there and beat LSU. This is a top 10 program. I guess last week they made a big deal out of beating Alabama first time ever. Alabama's not the end-all, be-all. Arkansas was ranked 14th and Alabama was ranked 15th. It just so happened that statistically speaking, it was the first time they'd won back-to-back series over Alabama. But this is a good team. It's a great program, and they'll go down there, and I would not be at all surprised for them to win that series.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. As always, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, it is a Fence Man Friday here on the Morning Rush. We got some picks to get into with our friend Sean. Sean, how you doing this morning, man?
Man, I'm doing outstanding. So happy to be here.
Good to be here. All right, let's get into it. Another edition of Fence Man Friday.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
Couple lopsided games last night in the SEC. Alabama went to Ole Miss and just beat the brakes off the Rebs. So we're not going to pick that game or the other game that was in action between Missouri and Tennessee. We'll start with Kentucky at South Carolina. Sean, Gamecocks coming off a series loss to Arkansas. Do they respond against the Wildcats, who are coming off a series loss against Tennessee? Who you got in that series?
Nope, Wildcats.
I got Kentucky, Chuck. I think they go to Columbia and get a series win. They get 2 of 3.
Upset special right off the bat. South Carolina wins the series.
Cox get it this weekend. All right, Mississippi State against the Vanderbilt Commodores in Nashville. Hawkins Field, not exactly an easy place to play. I'm going to go Tim Corbin and Vandy, Chuck.
That's a layup. Vandy.
Yeah, it might not even be close. They might win 3-0. Who wins this series, Sean?
Well, I'm with you guys. I think Vandy's got it all the way easy.
Big series in College Station as your wife's Texas A&M Aggies host the Georgia Bulldogs. I think I know where we're going with this one in Blue Belt Park.
Oh, you know it. They're going to be shooting all them bubbles off.
My brother, yeah, that's you can tell her that's lame that they do that. My brother Chuck is going for that series when Arkansas plays with his Texas A&M girlfriend. I'm excited to see how he likes that. But yeah, I think the Aggies get it done this weekend. That series coming up in May is going to decide the SEC West, in my opinion.
Georgia's pretty salty, but and I think Georgia wins a game, but A&M wins the series.
Charlie Condon is much-watched college baseball. We're talking about Jack Caglione. That Condon kid's hitting like 448 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane.
You're right. He deserves to be mentioned in the very same breath with Caglione.
It's pretty special.
Not a two-way player, but I don't think. But great player, great hitter.
Hagen Smith right now on the Bet Saracen app, Sean. He has an over-under of 5.5 innings and 9.5 strikeouts. It's it's plus 130, I believe, that you can get on that. I think he hits that tonight. I think he goes 6, and I think we see him get double-digit strikeouts. I think I might win some money tonight. What do you think?
I'm going to go with you. I think so, too. He's on fire.
He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you think about the statistic of him being the third all-time leader in strikeouts, has a chance to get to second. It is it's coming fast for Hagen Smith, and he seems to be taking it in stride. Arkansas tonight is minus 230 to beat the Gators and expected to win the series this weekend. Do they win game 1? Do they get the big one tonight, Sean?
I think they'll take game 1. It'll be game 2. I think they'll struggle.
Yeah, I think they're ultimately going to win game 3. I think they'll win 2 or 3. I do not expect them to sweep the series this weekend. All right, that is your Fence Man Friday picks as we do it every Friday. Thanks to our friend Sean for the Fence Man. You can give him a call at 782-3936. That is 479-782-3936. I know you got some rain this weekend, so you're trying to get ahead of that, aren't you?
We are. Our crews are out right now just trying to get it as fast as they can for the rain gets in here. And, it always delays us, but it sure makes the digging a lot easier when the rain's done.
Softer
dirt. So we can't complain about that. But, we're excited.
All right. Well, again, always appreciate having Sean in here from the Fence Man. Give him a call. Again, 479-782-3936. Sean, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
I am. We're going to go out and play in the mud.
Let's go. All right, hour 3 coming up next. Let's talk to Davor Remos next.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Roll into the season at WT Equipment. Get ready to roll with strong savings on hay tools, compact and mid-range tractors, and even our large commercial-grade hay equipment. Buy now and save $5,000, $10,000, or more in cash back. Or get 0% financing for up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and up to 72 months on compacts. Hurry, offer ends June 30th for commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. You need the Lindbergh team, home of Arkansas's only instant offer program. Get a cash offer on your home in only 72 hours. Lindbergh Real Estate Group is the #1 team in Arkansas with over $1 billion sold and voted best of the best 10 years in a row, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and now the River Valley. Find out more at lindberghteam.com. LIMBIRD.
This is the Morning Rush.
Drive a compact SUV that has more style, power, and technology with the 2023 Buick Envision at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get 1.9% financing for 60 months on remaining 2023 Buick Envisions. Or choose up to $3,500 in factory discounts. The Buick Envision, it's all about you and designed to inspire. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith. Perhaps the world.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
The Steel Horse Rally is coming to town May 3rd and 4th. Get ready for it with Wheeler Power Sports in Fort Smith. Need a new or pre-owned motorcycle to show off on Garrison Avenue at the rally? Need to get new tires or repairs done so you can join the poker run or parade? Need new riding gear? We've been serving the motorcycle community in the Fort Smith area for 57 years and are the 9th oldest Kawasaki dealer in the nation. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, active weather expected to increase. We could see the potential for large hail, damaging winds, and the potential for some tornadoes this afternoon through the early part of tonight. High temperatures today in the low to mid 70s. We'll see a chance of showers and strong storms early tonight. Overnight lows near 65. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines.
You're listening to the
beers,
Morning
and
Rush,
liquor.
live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Well, I know it's highly anticipated series and just ticket demand and people calling me, texting me, wanting to get tickets, friends and former teammates coming around, want to watch a game. And this seems to be the one they want to see. It's kind of a bummer on the weather, but you know, if you're a baseball fan, we play 2 on Saturday. You can have a long day at the park to see a lot of talent.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
You know, when Zvonimir Ivičić, second time around, worked better, committed to Arkansas and signed with Arkansas, Croatian, I was wondering, it's like, is there another guy that's been through there? And I had to think back. Most of y'all knew off the top of your head. It's like, well, Davor Remos, former Arkansas Razorback, national champion, Fayetteville Bulldog, also won a tennis state title when he was on campus at Fayetteville High School. So I had to think about it for a little bit, but probably initially thought about it. So he's going to join us coming up in just a sec. Really excited to talk with him here on the Morning Rush, get his thoughts on Big Z, Cal, some Coach Richardson stories. We got a lot to get into with him. And we're going to do so via the McLarty Daniel Hotline, where we're lucky to have them on with us as we get rolling here in hour number 3.
In Springdale and Bentonville, you're never. This hour of Chuck Barrett on the Morning Rush is presented by McLarty Daniel. McLarty Daniel has a vehicle to fit both your style and budget. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, you're never too far from a good deal. Visit McLartyDaniel.com to find your next ride.
You know, I don't know if we'd be doing Davor justice without a highlight or two. So let's go roll into a little Paul Eels, Tim Brando, and some guys that you all remember from back in the day.
Davor Remos. Davor with more. Remos long 3. Davor finds Williamson. Counted and a foul. Remos. That's his specialty.
We have a special treat for you this morning here on the Morning Rush. A national champion, a Fayetteville Bulldog, and also won it all in high school and tennis back. Davor Remos joins us on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Davor, thanks for joining us. Excited to catch up with you, man. Big Z's the name around here people want to know about. What can you tell us about?
Hi to everybody that's listening. It's nice to be on the show. He was playing in the regional ABA league that's composed of teams from Slovenia, Croatia, Montenegro, Bosnia, and Serbia. And then he left for Kentucky. So I just really saw a very few games of him. He didn't play that much. And I just followed up for, to some NCAA games in Kentucky, which, he played some, and then some of them he didn't play that much. Other than that, just saw that he has a great court awareness for the big man and for the being, 7'2", and soft touch, can pass the ball. So I think Hogs are in good shape in that department.
Croatian connection, you too. We also got Tony Kukoc, will be one of the better international players. How much have you seen the game grown, where you are and just globally for that matter?
I mean, the game has definitely changed. I don't know, for better or worse, but it's definitely different. Definitely a lot of three-point shots from now. And centers are trying to shoot them, try to work on them. You can see a center in, I don't know, in the NBA or NCAA never shoot a three-pointer, and all of a sudden he comes out shooting him because he worked on him for like 2 years or a year and a half. And now it's a part of the coaching plan, you know. So I think that it's more offense-oriented. I have a team of kids that I coach, and I'm always telling them it's the defense that's the most important, but I don't know if they're listening to me or not.
Well, that was something you were taught when you were here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, under Coach Nolan Richardson. What did you take away from Coach Richardson that you're still using with kids today as now a coach?
Coach was saying that perfect practice makes perfect, not just practice make perfect. And he said, I can sit there in the half court and shoot the hook shots to the basket from half court, and I'm practicing, but that's not what I'm going to do in the game. So basically I'm just trying to tell the kids to, work on whatever they think they're going to use in the game and do it 100%, because normally the practice should be much harder than playing a game.
Talking with national champion Davor Remos here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Now, Davor, I mentioned you brought up your coaching. You're also doing some other stuff. Education Tech at Robert College is...
Istanbul, Turkey. I am an online learning technical specialist for the school, so in the IT department.
And you did computer science at the U of A, right? That was what your major was, correct?
Right. That was my major. I graduated with computer science, arts and science degree, but then went over back home, played professionally for like 10 years. So there was like a pretty big gap there in 10 years. We all know how technology advances. So I was basically started from scratch, but I always knew I wanted to do something in that field. So I kind of started with taking some courses online, taking some certificates, and, getting a job, and kind of progress to where I am right now.
How'd you balance that back in Fayetteville? Computer science is no joke, even in the 90s. How were you able to balance that?
The background in Croatian education system, which was back then it was still Yugoslavia when I was there, it was really, really a lot of, it was repetitive, but every year you would take all the courses and then they would just go deeper and deeper into the matter every year. So I was kind of, in college, you could take like 5 subjects a semester, so I was able to, even with practice, and I was able to go through the courses and finish up. And, I think one of the good things for me was in the end that I redshirted 1 year, so I had 5 years to graduate, so I kind of, had more time than 4 years that some people have.
Talking with Davor Remos here on the McLarty Daniel Hotline. Give us a sense of what Big Z is in for. And I know he's had a year of college under his belt, similar to your redshirt years you just mentioned, but what was your transition like? You were at Fayetteville High School, so you at least had that in your back pocket, but him coming over, being in Lexington, now in Fayetteville, do you think it's going to be easier on him than maybe it was on you initially?
If people can, forget that he actually played for Kentucky, then yes, it will be easier. because he already kind of was in the college basketball system, and he knows what it's all about. And Kentucky is also a huge basketball program, so I don't think that he will be surprised. I think their fans are, also following their team just as passionately as Hawk family is. I think he's going to be in a little bit better position as far as having 1 year already under his belt. But my situation was a bit different because I came over during when I was 16, in high school for 2 years, and then I kind of grew up with those 2 years. The high school is right across the street from the University of Arkansas, so basically, I knew Hogs basketball was all about. I knew about Coach Richardson. I lived with Coach Richardson my junior year. Played pickup games with Todd Day and Lee Mayberry and Oliver Miller when I was a junior in high school. So that I think that kind of also prepared me a little for college.
And those are some of the best players that have ever come through Arkansas. You played with them. You also got a chance to play with Corliss and the national championship team. There's going to be a lot of studs that are in Fayetteville now with Coach Cal. How much better did you get as a player, and how much do you think Big Z and the other guys can improve just based on the competition that they go in and practice every day?
If you have a deep roster and good players all the way to like number 10, 11, like we've had, our practices were more competitive than some games. We would have second team beat the first team, I want to say 50% of the time. And So it was really, competitive. And then coach was saying, like if you're on your game time during the practice, he would give everybody a chance, And I think first 2 years I did not maximize my potential there. I had some small injuries that kind of prevented me. But then before my junior year, before the national championship year, I stayed all summer. I didn't go home. My mom came over to visit me from Croatia, and I trained every day, and I came to the beginning of the season ready, like game shape ready. I was just ready for that year, and coach recognized it, and he gave me a chance, and I ended up starting some games and playing some good role minutes, and in the end we won the championships. That was like an amazing crown to the hard work that I put in individually, and obviously we did as a team.
I can tell you still have a deep love, respect, and admiration for Coach Richardson, just based on the 10 minutes we've been talking so far. And you had a connection even prior to Arkansas with your dad coaching one of his players, David Brown, who played with him at Tulsa. Not just going to Fayetteville High School and living with them, but how much did that play a role in you deciding on Arkansas, just the connection you already had, Davor?
I mean, my initial thing was that I couldn't go to school, play basketball and tennis at the same time in former Yugoslavia. So I learned about that it's more organized in high schools. So we decided that I would go for like a year to learn the language, so which happened, and I was able to play both seasons separately. But then I don't know if there was some possibility for me just to go join a pro team after my junior year. But in the end, we decided I should come back for another year in high school, and then I ended up having a good season, got recruited by a bunch of other colleges. Obviously, Coach Richardson also, I mean, he told me, he was like, first of all, if you want me to recruit you, you cannot live with me anymore, because that was the rules. Luckily, I found a family, one of my teammates from high school, Tom Hinton. I lived with them my senior year. Coach said, you were not good enough in as a junior in high school for me to recruit you, but you did really well as a senior, so he offered me the scholarship. And, me being from so far away and having to adjust when I was 16, 17, I was not about to go anywhere else, go to some other city in the States for college. And obviously the team was amazing at that point, so I don't think I could have only gotten better than at that point.
All right, last thing. Do we see a lot of Razorback apparel in Turkey nowadays, in Croatia? I mean, you, Big Z. Are we seeing Razorback apparel overseas nowadays?
Only at my house, probably. Every time I went to visit, I raided whatever stores they had with everything. So now I'm wearing his Razorback everywhere. Some of my friends, but I don't know how it's going to be at Big Z's place. Hopefully, there's an anecdote. Coach Richardson asked me in '92, I think, can you bring a 7-footer from Croatia? Little did he know, it only took 30 years, but he's here. He's there.
And we're happy to have him. We're happy to have you on this morning. Davor Remos, national champion here at Arkansas. This has been awesome. Davor, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
What a way to end that conversation. It only took 30 years to bring a 7-footer, but guys, he's here. Big Z.
While you were having that conversation, Brad Stamps, who's the head coach at Fayetteville High School, was texting me, and they played together at Fayetteville High for Joe Kretschmar. And if you think Nolan was tough, you should have seen Coach Kretschmar back in the day. And he said, man, there were so many great stories with him and Davor. So I'm sure for him it was great to hear his voice, and a friend apparently he still keeps up with. But for some of those old Fayetteville High School teammates, Chuck, I'm sure his name coming up this morning probably brings back and stirs up several good memories.
Well, when you hear Davor talk, too, you realize, and maybe we were all too young to fully understand then, what a life change it is for these guys. Just a complete and total life change. Forget the basketball. Just, literally moving across the world as a 16 or 17-year-old. It's got to be pretty daunting. I'll tell you what I took out of that, and there's a lot of stuff. It was a very good conversation, Ty. But from a basketball perspective, just purely from a basketball perspective, he talked about before that national championship year, how he didn't go home. Family came to see him. When the season began, he was ready to go, like he'd never been before. Now, Davor was not the biggest star on that team. And my point in bringing this up is, if you're going to win a championship, everybody, from your best player to your guy coming off the bench to the 10th guy, has got to be equally committed. If they are, you got a chance. If they're not, all it takes is one or two of them to screw the whole thing up. But, that's a guy right there that, I'm sure Davor didn't operate under the illusion that he was going to be the leading scorer on that national championship team. But he prepared as though it all hinged on him. Cal talked about in his press conference, I want 1,000 people to feel like it couldn't happen without me. Well, that's a player. That's one of 14 or 15 who approached the summer with, if we're going to win it all, I got to get myself ready. I got to, it's on me. If everybody does that, you got a shot to be pretty good.
Tommy, you mentioned his days at FHS. I want you to think about, visualize this right now, a junior in high school playing with the likes of, as he said, Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, and Oliver Miller. Now, I'm of the belief that anytime you play golf or basketball or any sport for that matter, and you play with someone that's significantly better than you, that causes you to be better. Absolutely. Now, you're going to go through some bumps. You're going to go through some turbulence. They're going to kick your you-know-what consistently, as they probably did. But from, not the jump necessarily because he's 16, but, he knew, what it was going to take to play college basketball. And he saw a team that made it to a Final Four and those type of guys. So, the impact that you just brought up, Chuck, I think that's also very important that he initially got that glimpse of what it's going to take to play college basketball with playing with those triplets.
Well, and I don't think we should underestimate the impact of living with Nolan and Rose Richardson for a year. How can you not absorb, if nothing else, you understand, that college basketball in the United States is a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really, really big deal. And he saw it firsthand. So I'm glad he's built a good life. More than anything, 1994 is a long time ago. We relive it all the time like it was yesterday. But he's gone on and lived a full life since then. And but he was an integral part of that team.
Yeah. Wonder how his tennis game's held up. He mentioned there.
I bet it's still pretty good.
I bet it's still pretty good. He mentioned
I bet he's not playing pickleball.
I bet he's not.
I bet he's playing the real thing.
I bet it's the full court action. It's not half court. So
I would imagine so.
Because you can only play you can play with your buddies and stuff like you do, Ty. But there's obviously a limit. Tennis and golf are two of those sports that you can do for a lifetime. So.
Again, 30 years have passed. Davor's about 50. I don't know how well he's getting up and down the floor right now if he's playing.
And
I don't know.
But in tennis, you can still get with it.
I don't know how many computer science majors guys that we've had as basketball players too. He's definitely one of a kind in that side of things.
Well, I'll bet at his age, whether it's tennis or basketball, he's not beating 20-year-olds. I'm pretty sure of that. Hey, let me pause just for a second and talk to you about McLarty Daniel. If you're buying an automobile, first off, it's kind of a daunting experience. Let's be honest. And sometimes when you walk into the dealership, you don't really know what's about to happen. Here's the difference at a McLarty Daniel dealership. Number one, you're going to be welcomed, and that's important. It's important for you to feel like you're important to them, and you'll get that feeling right away at McLarty Daniel. You're going to be offered something to drink, maybe a snack, something like you would do if someone came into your home. You're going to get a great deal. That is part of the equation. You are going to get a great deal on a great automobile. But after you buy that automobile, you're going to find differences. The differences continue. Things like Saturday service, things like complimentary rentals while your car's being serviced, things that keep you moving, and things that keep you coming back. That's part of the experience. They've been doing this a long time. Russ Daniel, it's not his first rodeo. He's been around since the 80s, and they know this business backwards and forwards. They understand their customers, and I think you'll have that experience when you visit them. They've got 6 dealerships in Bentonville and Springdale, and you can always check out their selection at McLartyDaniel.com.
So with Davor, we brought up Big Z. You got him as a signee now. Carter Knox is, to my knowledge, just a commit. I don't think I've seen anything about his official signing. And as of yesterday, you got another commit, which is Boogie Flan. Him and Billy Richmond were both on campus earlier this week. Boogie has committed, decided White Plains, New York kid has decided that Arkansas is his next school. We'll see if Billy Richmond ends up becoming a Razorback as well. Billy's dad, Billy Jr., played basketball for Cal at Memphis. Also has a great wing place in Memphis. Him. Yeah, he's a good player. I think he got drafted too. And he does have an awesome wing place in Memphis that I've been to. But that is, I would not be surprised is by the end of the day or by this weekend that we possibly see a commit from Billy Richmond, I guess junior too, at some point, or the third. I think he's third.
You know, most of these names that have come along, Boogie Flan, and now Big Z's a little different, but most of these names aren't going to be overtaxing on you, Chuck. That's the thing you've got to like is, we get some very unique names in recruiting. At least most of these names will roll off the tongue to a point.
Every once in a while, Cal brings somebody in from Europe, or he'll span a continent or two to go get a player. So I guess we'll see when it all sorts out. But yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
Don't know if Onyenso is going to consider Arkansas. I know that he's recently in the portal, but there are some guys.
I remember the first time we played Kentucky, and I saw that. All right, Onyenso. I got to work on that for a minute.
Can I buy?
There's got to be some other pronunciation. There's got to be some other pronunciation. But sometimes you pronounce it just like it's spelled, and Onyenso is one of those times.
Yeah. Our buddy Robert Mann over at the Stadium Shop just sent us a photo here on the McLarty Daniel text line of him and Davor, and he said he knows for a fact there's Razorback stuff in his house, and got a good picture.
Robert's probably shipped a little bit over there.
Probably has. All of our Razorback basketball conversation is brought to you by the Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. And by Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men. They're in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
All right, so the Arkansas baseball team's back in action tonight. Game has been moved up to 6 o'clock. Want to remind people that you can listen to it most of these ESPN Arkansas radio stations, as you did for the NFL draft last night, where Caleb Williams was selected number 1 overall by the Chicago Bears. We'll get into a little what happened in Detroit last night coming up next.
Construction is brought to you by Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Limbird Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. For all your real estate needs, go to LimbirdTeam.com. Maverick Male Medical, your wellness and aesthetic center for men in Northwest Arkansas. Look better, live better, love better. Visit MaverickMaleMedical.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft for the Fenceman. If you've always wanted powered automatic gates at your home or business, but you didn't know who to call, let me tell you about the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman does it all. Custom wrought iron installations, automatic gates, even controlled access systems, and lots more. Ask about 18-month, same as cash financing with approved credit. For your custom fence and gate needs, call the Fenceman. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
And he's in. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a GMC Sierra Crew Cab at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Choose from 2.7 or 5.3-liter Sierra Crew Cabs this month and get 2.9% for 72. Or get up to $6,500 in factory rebates on select 2024 GMC Sierra trucks. Conquer with confidence in a new GMC from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
It's a fish fry at the Tackle Box. Jerry and the team will be frying up fresh fish starting this Friday at noon until it's all gone. Get your fresh fried fish and sides for only $15. All proceeds will benefit foster children for the Sebastian County CASA, court-appointed special advocates for Sebastian County. Come on out and help the children at the annual Fish Fry fundraiser at the Tackle Box, 3001 South Zero Street in Fort Smith.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Have you tried the TGI Friday weekday deals? On Monday, they have 50-cent wings, traditional or boneless, 10-piece minimum. Tuesday, cheeseburgers and fries with a fountain drink for $10. On Wednesday, Cajun shrimp and chicken pasta for only $12. On Thursday, enjoy a half a rack of ribs for only $12. Stop by and check out the weekday deals at TGI Fridays, I-540 at Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. In here, it's always Friday.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forest Grin wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forest Grin has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forest Grin is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forest Grin is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forest Grin legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForestGrin.com. That's GoForestGrin.com. Forest Grin Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Yeah, when I hear Jeff and others talk about, well, Arkansas is in the driver's seat for this guy. Everybody in America wants him. There's still part of me that just like shakes my head. Is this really happening? Is Cal really our coach? All of a sudden, Arkansas, rockets to the top of their list. I mean, it's pretty heady stuff.
No one has to pitch you. You're not dreaming. It's a reality. There's still a lot of ways that they have to figure out this roster. You've only got 3 guys committed right now, but looks like Arkansas is on track to get some high-caliber players. Already got some committed, and looks like they're on some others. Well, I'll tell you who's always in the line to have high-caliber cars, and that's our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources in both Springdale and in Fort Smith. Larry, what do you got on the lot these two places we need to know about?
We've got a bunch of vehicles that folks would love at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, a big selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty, the best used cars your money can buy. Folks, don't settle for less. Make sure you check us out before you buy. You're going to get more car for your money at Rath Auto Resources. And Rath Mitsubishi, same thing, got those road-ready certified used cars. And the new Mitsubishi's real excited about that lineup. We've got a great selection of 24 Outlanders, including the PHEV study up on that vehicle. If you're looking for something that's kind of a great transition vehicle, that's a good one. No range anxiety. That car's going to get you where you want to go. Great performance, fun to drive, and we've got a great selection of those as well. Rates as low as 0%. We've got trade-in assistance and customer cash up to $2,000 to help us get you in the right vehicle at the right payment. And we'd love a chance to do that for you at Rath Mitsubishi. I think follow them on Facebook this weekend. I think they're giving away some tickets to the Greta Van Fleet concert at the AMP coming up. So follow Rath Mitsubishi on Facebook. Follow Rath Auto Resources as well. We've always got some fun things going on with the Winning and Grinning Give-A-Palooza. Always some fun prizes to be won following Rath Auto Resources. It's going to be a big weekend. You guys know it. I mean, we got to close out strong here. Got to run through the tape. Folks, it's a great time to get a little extra for your trade. Got to take advantage of the poor old car dealer. Make yourself a deal this weekend. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, that's Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, get the umbrella out. You may need it this weekend.
I'm ready, man, and don't worry about it, folks. We'll bring these cars up in the drive for you. You sit inside the whole time. We'll make it easy.
All right, well, come and see us, right?
That's right. Come and see us.
Come and see us. All right, Larry Rath, final weekend of the month, so I can already hear the tension in his voice, guys.
He's ready. He's ready to roll this morning, as is Brent in Searcy, who now joins us. Brent, it sounds like that you enjoyed that Davor Remos interview this morning.
I did, Ty, and I just wanted to tell you what a fantastic job you did on the interview.
Thank you. It was all him, man. I just kind of was there.
And Ty, how did you arrange that to get a call from to Turkey? I mean, what's the time difference?
Well, Tommy might have a more expensive cell phone or phone bill because I don't know, some Google Fi number or whatever. But yeah, he was kind enough. Kevin Trainer hooked me up with his email, who works at the athletics department, and Davor was all in on doing an interview, and I thought he was great.
Was he in Turkey or is he in the UK?
Turkey, yes.
Turkey, okay.
Time difference over there. What time was it for him, and what time was it for you?
8 hours.
So what time did you do this? Our time?
10 a.m. yesterday. So it was 6
So
p.m.
it was 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
in the afternoon there. Okay.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
All right.
Let's see if he can do the math.
Yeah. Simple math. I'm good at simple math.
So I guess Brent left, but yeah, it was great, and I just think it was cool. Anytime I could talk to a former Hog about the glory days, it was cool, and the connection, of course, to Big Z. But I really enjoyed it. You brought up Rose Richardson earlier, Chuck, and there seemed to be quite a relationship, not just with him and Coach, but also
well, I'm sure there
late
was,
Rose,
because I'm sure that Coach Richardson was probably gone a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was home, I'm sure it was Rose who was there with him. I thought it was interesting, or I think it's interesting, as we've discussed Davor this half hour, the advancements in the European game since Davor played here. It was still somewhat of a novelty to have a player from, I guess it was Yugoslavia and became Croatia. When it all split up. I'm not going to pretend I understand all that history there, but the point is that players from Eastern Europe were not that common in the United States, and now virtually every team in the NBA has one. It seems like.
Think about some of the best players in the NBA right now: Victor Wembanyama, who's going to win Rookie of the Year; Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic. And if you look at the upcoming NBA draft prospects, there are, as you mentioned, Chuck, a lot of European players are highly regarded in this upcoming draft. And it's just they're more fundamentally sound and NBA ready than a lot of these kids that are studs in college, but just not ready.
Some of them are. I think, though, too, not just the stars, but like that big guy for the Pelicans. Last name starts with a V. He's not a superstar. He's not a superstar, but he's a darn good NBA player. And there are all sorts of darn good NBA players from other countries now. And when Davor first came here, again, it was still a novelty 30 years ago, and now it's just part of the everyday landscape.
Yeah. All right, we got more coming up. Arkansas basketball front and center for us every morning, brought to you by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group and by Maverick Mill Medical. Guys, I think basketball is going to stay in the headlines for quite a while, maybe through the summer, maybe all the way through. We're hopefully talking about Omaha. We may still be talking about basketball.
I bet you.
It will until the roster's full.
Yeah, I bet you we get it. I mean, I got asked in Bozeman, Montana about Cal. I mean, it's everywhere. People want to know about it. So, all right, we got our SEC update coming up in just a bit. Some of the SEC baseball games this weekend, and 10 guys from this conference were drafted of the 32 draft picks in the NFL first round last night. We'll close out the show next here on a Fast Break Friday.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, 97.1 in Camden and South Arkansas, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Get ready to roll this season with huge savings during New Holland's Ready to Roll sales event. Going on now at WT Equipment. Right now, get 0% financing, up to 48 months on hay tools, 60 months on mid-range tractors, and 72 months on compacts. Or choose cash back and save thousands. Whether you need consistent strength and efficiency for your daily grind or an upgrade for the weekend chores, WT has the machines you need with the deals you want. Subject to credit approval, standard term conditions and restrictions apply. Down payment may be required. WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
This is the Morning Rush.
Diamond Center is proud to present our inaugural Whiskey and Watches event. Now is your chance to get your hands on that timeless timepiece you've been dreaming of. Between now and Thursday, April 25th, in our Fort Smith store, call or stop by to pre-order your watch. Then join us on Thursday, April 25th for a night of celebration featuring rare whiskeys, cigars, and luxury watches. This is your opportunity to add that watch that you've always had an eye on to your collection. For more information or to pre-order your watch today, give us a call. The Diamond Center, celebrating a legacy of love.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where it's spring cleaning time. The lot is blooming with fresh road-ready certified inventory and weekly specials that could save you up to $4,000. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, trade today and save up to $4,000 during spring cleaning at Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith, or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC finals. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
So you had 10 SEC players drafted in Detroit last night, including Jaden Daniels, former LSU quarterback that went number 2 overall.
With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
Now, if you've listened to me the last week or so, you know that I am staunchly behind Daniels and not on the Caleb Williams train. I think that Jaden is much more set up for success as a quarterback than Caleb is. I could be wrong. Maybe they both fail. Maybe one of them has success. I just think it's more on Jaden Daniels. But, Tommy, 6 quarterbacks drafted last night. 4 of them can't play in the next level, I think. But we'll have to wait and see how the next couple of years play out.
Well, it was an overweighted, only 9 of the first 32 picks were defensive players. There wasn't a defensive player until pick 15. So this was a very offensively weighted draft, to say the least.
Think about that. Pick till 15th. 14 picks of offensive players. The game has changed. The game has changed.
Look at the rules. I mean, all the rules are set up to benefit which side of the ball?
The offense.
I hadn't even been close. So, and that's where they make – I'm not saying that, defensive guys get paid a lot too. But the bigger investments are with quarterbacks. And I think for some of these teams, knowing that, salary caps increase, the market increases, go ahead and get your quarterback now before the price tag goes up even more. I think that's probably part of the logic as well.
Yep. Baseball back in action tonight. Baum-Walker Stadium, a place that you've won 25 straight games. And I think it was 19 of 20 or 20 of 21 SEC series dating back to 2019. That's insane. That is insane. Now you're welcoming in a potential, and I think potential is probably a stretch. He's going to be a Golden Spikes Award finalist. Might not win it, but he's going to be a finalist. And Jack Caglione. And Dave Van Horn was nothing but complimentary about the Florida Gator.
First baseman, left-handed pitcher Caglione, he's unbelievable. When you look at his numbers, he's hitting .410 with 25 homers, and he's only struck out 14 times, it's amazing. I mean, he swings at pitches that are eye high and hits them over the lights. He swings at bad pitches, but he hits them, and he hits them hard.
This guy's, again, hitting over 400. He's undefeated as a starter. He's got a little above 3 ERA. He's a good baseball player, and it's going to be fun to watch him and Hagan going tonight. Now, there is a little bit of a change, not only on the time, moved up to 6 o'clock, but Mason Molina is not going to go this weekend, so you're not going to see him on Saturday or at any point this weekend. Tiger will be in the 2 slot. He'll be your second pitcher you see on Saturday as a starter, and then it's TBA for Game 3, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, if it's a Sunday starter, if that game gets played then, or if it's Game 2 on Saturday when that rolls out.
5:30 tonight on most of these ESPN Arkansas stations for the pregame show, the Dugout Show, and then we'll keep you updated throughout the weekend. So for 6 o'clock first pitch, and I'm like you, Ty. I don't expect anything to go as scheduled this weekend.
Nope. We will have some changes, and we'll keep you updated. It helps having the voice of Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, on these airwaves. So make sure you tune in to halftime later on today for these updates. All right, that is your SEC update, brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas. Tommy, you're celebrating their 46th anniversary right now, man.
Yeah, a little cloudy, going to be a little rainy this weekend, already clouding up depending on where you're at this morning. And, great day to start the day inside your hot spring spa. They've got all kinds of things deeply discounted during this 46th anniversary sale. If you're looking out the window right now, kind of like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation, and you're imagining that pool in your own backyard, now's the time to start the plan. Save up to $12,000, and construction can start this spring. You could snag up to $1,200 off on Doughboy above-ground pools and $5,000 off those semi-in-ground pools made by Doughboy. I was mentioning hot tubs. They've got hot tubs. Check this out, starting at $39.99. That's an unheard-of deal right now in a brand-new spa. Celebrate with them. 46 years, pocket huge savings for yourself. Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale. They're in Fort Smith as well, and they always are online at burtonpools.com. At Burton Pools and Spas, they do more than build pools and spas. They build long-term relationships.
All right, to the horse races we go, where we welcome in our friend Lang Whitman at the Railbird 333. Now, Lane, I know people are getting excited for that Kentucky Derby coming up, but what we got going on here this weekend?
Yeah, there's 2 weekends left at Oakland. We have 3 race days this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a total of 30 races. And we're going to concentrate on the Saturday races right here because there's two stakes races. We have the 8th race, the Bachelor Stakes, for $200,000, a 3-year-old event running at 6 furlongs, a 7-horse field. The horses, the main contenders, look to be Valentine Candy from the Steve Asmussen barn at 5-2 on the morning line, Time for Truth from the Ron Moquette barn at 3-1, and Virgin 7-2 on the morning line from trainer Brad Cox. Then we skip down to the 10th race, the Dig a Diamond Stakes, $200,000 on the line again. This is for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares running at 1 mile, a 9-horse field, where we have one of the favorites, number 3, Who's Your Filly at 2-1 from the Tom Amos barn, number 8, Crypt from Brad Cox, and number 9, Blue Light Special from Mississippi Contreras barn at 7-2 on the morning line. Those are the 2 big races this weekend.
Yeah, and hard to believe we're down to the last 6 days of racing. I mean, it has really flown by, and I don't know if we kind of ease into the back end, but it's kind of got that feel. And next weekend it'll be a different feel with the with the big one, and then Run for the Roses.
Yeah, no doubt. This is kind of like the calm before the storm. I'm looking forward to the races this weekend because I'm going over there tomorrow. I'm speaking to a group at the hotel, giving out my picks for 70 or 80 people, so I'm looking forward to that. But it's still, next weekend is when the big work goes in for me. I got to have all the picks for the three remaining days at Oakland, and next Friday and Saturday, the Kentucky Oaks, the Kentucky Derby. I'll have picks for those days as well. So a lot of homework to do over the next week for myself.
All right, you kind of went over the 2 stakes races for tomorrow, I haven't really peeked at the Hot Springs forecast. I'm sure you have as part of your prep work. What's the weather's a story across our state. What's the weather as far as the storyline there at Oakland?
Well, I am anticipating a wet track today. That's the way I made my picks. What I do in situations like this, if it's a little bit questionable, and I don't know, I looked at the weather today. Yes, there's another chance of rain later on today, so I assumed that the track's going to be wet, and that is the last thing that I look at when I make my picks. I make my top 4 picks in the race, and then I'll go back and look at the horses' wet track efforts to see if some of those top 4 I have stand out more than the others. Tomorrow, I haven't totally looked at that yet. I imagine it probably may still be a little bit wet. I'll dive into that tonight. But that's something that it doesn't really bother me if it's an off track. I just want to know going into it what it's going to be. The only time it bothers me is if I don't really know. It's a 50% chance of rain starting at noon, and then it's too late for me to adjust picks if it doesn't rain.
All right, you got a kind of a long shot or something we can maybe cash in on today? We only got a couple chances left to do this on a Friday.
I know, and it doesn't seem like we've been doing this since the week after the SEC football championship game, but we've been doing this for a while. This, I believe, week 22 we're on now. And yes, I do have a long shot today. The 10th race, horse number 10, UCV, 10-1 on the morning line. Now, this is my second choice in the race. My top choice is the favorite, number 5, 20 to Park. But I believe UCV has a decent chance to spring an upset here. Trainer Ron Moquette and jockey Keith Asmussen are the team on this horse. Now, the effort that UCV had in his last race, April 12th, he broke out of the gate prior to the race starting. They brought him back, checked him out, still put him back in the gate. He raced. He didn't really compete in the race. He ran 10th, I believe, out of 12 horses. And that was a poor effort. A lot of times when horses break through the gate like that, they get the breath knocked out of them, and they won't give a great effort. So I'm just drawing the line through that race. The prior effort on March 16th, UCV ran third, only lost by 2 lengths, and that's the type of effort that will be needed today to beat number 5, 20 to Park. His third start off the layoff, I'm expecting a big effort, and it will take one to beat the favorite here, but I'm going to give a good shot to UCV at 10-1 on the morning line in race 10, horse number 10. The favorite's going to be such a big favorite. I believe the odds are going to hold on UCV. We should get at least 8-1.
All right, sounds like some good value. At the Railbird 333 X Facebook, anywhere else we need to be thinking about?
No, those are the main two.
All right, so go there and
I got accounts everywhere, but I don't mess with them too much.
all right, at the Railbird 333. All right, Lane, we'll do it one last time next Friday.
Yeah, we'll look at the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby next week.
All right, sounds good. Lane Whitman with us each Friday during the Oaklawn meet, and we're proud to have him. It's brought to you by Brothers Roofing. If you've experienced recent hail damage or wind damage to your roof, no matter where you're listening this morning, 479-353-3877 is the number you need for Brother Alexander, former Razorback, an Arkansan, and has been in the roofing business and is a local guy that's been here in the roofing business in one way, shape, or form for about 30 years. And I know as we look outside, there's rain coming, and if you've got a leaky roof that you've got those brown spots on your ceiling, you need to find out the source of that. The damage is only going to get worse as time goes on. 479-353-3877. If your insurance company has told you don't have damage to your roof, but all your neighbors have got new roofs, 479-353-3877. Brothers Roofing and Restoration. Call our buddy Brother Alexander, 479-353-3877 for Brothers Roofing and Restoration.
So make sure you stay tuned to ESPN Arkansas the rest of the day. Maybe you get a commit from Billy Richmond, who was the young man that was in town earlier this week alongside Boogie Flan. Get some updates also what Arkansas is going to do on the baseball side of things, whether that's halftime or Ruskin and Zach with the Saturday, maybe doubleheader, or what they're going to do on Sunday. You hate, Tommy, when you have a team, and I know Florida isn't as good as maybe we thought they were going to be. This is a team that's won national championships before, but this is a big weekend. I mean, you ran out of tickets, what, Tuesday?
A while back. They've been in demand for this series for a couple months now. People have been wanting Florida tickets. So hopefully the weather's good enough where the fans can see some baseball. This is still going to be a critical RPI weekend for both teams. And, make no doubt, it's an SEC weekend. You've only got 4 of those left. So, you take 2 out of 3 every weekend year forward and not even leave the dugout if that was your option.
So you got that to watch and listen to this weekend. You got the NFL draft, hoping to see another Razorback come off the board. I still think it's going to be Dwight McLaughlin at first. We'll see how that plays out. And some Razorbacks like Patrick Beverly, Bobby Portis, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, and others. I saw Anthony Black played a little bit last night. That will be in these NBA playoffs. Thunder have a chance to go up 3-0 on Saturday against the New Orleans Pelicans. We appreciate everyone joining us today here on ESPN Arkansas. For Tommy and Chuck and Colton, I'm Ty. Enjoy your weekend. We're back in these chairs tomorrow at 6 a.m. bright and early Monday morning.
homeowner, Roger Scott for Leaf Guard Gutters of Arkansas. Are you tired of dealing with clogged gutters, climbing ladders, and worrying about potential damage to your home? Well, listen up to me now. Leaf Guard of Arkansas's got you covered. Introducing Leaf Guard, the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never, ever clog. With Leaf Guard, you can kiss goodbye to all the hassle of climbing up and cleaning out all that muck and mud and shingle grit. No more hiring someone else to do it, or worse yet, risking serious damage and issues by doing nothing at all. Spring is finally here, which means it's time for Leaf Guard's famous Ugly Gutter event. Leaf Guard will swoop in, take down, and haul away all those unsightly gutters at absolutely no charge, and you'll receive an incredible 60% off installation on a whole house Leaf Guard gutter system. But wait, there's more. Ask about the 0% financing options and additional discounts for seniors and military personnel. Do not let ugly gutters ruin your home's curb appeal.